Dad sees I make 1,000 a month, yet still can't find a partner. He unexpectedly sets me up with the domineering CEO as a husband. The CEO, 188, never comes home, and even tosses me an unlimited black card to spend as I please. To avoid disturbing his dates with his white moonlight, I conscientiously take the black card to the mall and keep spending. At this moment, in a luxurious private room, Gu Shiyan's phone rings. He glances casually at the screen, picks up a glass of red wine, and takes a leisurely sip. Su Qian, sitting beside him, looks at him with eyes full of love and restraint. Shiyan, today is your anniversary. If you're here, what will Sister Lin Wanwan think of me? Gu Shiyan's voice is very cold. You don't need to care what she thinks. As soon as he finishes, his phone rings again. This time, he picks it up and glances at it. Your account spend, 888,880 yuans. Your account spending, 5 million yuans. After 2 years of marriage, this is the first time I've used his card. Gu Shiyan swipes his finger across the screen, curls his lips into a cold smile. Su Qian purses her lips and says, Shiyan, maybe you should go back. Before Gu Shiyan can respond, another notification pops up. Your account spend, 99,999 yuans. Your account spending, 399,990 yuans. For the first time, I experience the joy of spending without looking at prices. Enjoying service that makes you feel like you're treated as a god. The suppressed consumer desire of over 20 years has spiraled out of control, causing Gu Shiyan's phone to beep from time to time. He didn't check it again. By the end of the meal, his phone had beeped 7 or 8 times. He only glanced at it after paying the bill. Just as he was about to put away his phone, he saw that his buddy Lu Zhou was calling him. Shiyan, I just saw your wife come to the club. She ordered 7 at once. The man Lu Zhou couldn't help but laugh. If you don't come over soon, I'm afraid your head will turn into a lush green pasture. Gu Shiyan was so angry he laughed upon hearing this. Just after receiving an award and going to the club, then ordering 7 men. How is that possible? Lu Zhou sent him a photo. You have to admit, with your wife all dressed up today, I almost didn't recognize her. In the photo, the woman had chestnut-colored, big wavy hair, wearing a sexy and elegant long dress. Stunningly beautiful, Lu Zhou continued to tease. Can you even recognize that this is your wife? Gu Shiyan once again thought he must be blind. How could this possibly be Lin Wanwan? At that moment, Su Qian spoke up. Shiyan, maybe you should go back. I can go watch the movie by myself. Gu Shiyan put away his phone. Unmoved, he accompanied Su Qian to the movie. Su Qian posted on her social media, commemorating the premiere of her first movie. 20 minutes later, Gu Shiyan received a bank card spending notification. Lin Wanwan recharged 1 million at the Royal Entertainment Club. He completely lost his composure. He left the movie theater with a cold face. Meanwhile, in the club's private room, I was leaning back on the sofa, enjoying myself, drinking wine that costs over 100,000 per bottle. 7 incredibly well-built and extremely attentive boys were gathered around me, giving me a shoulder and leg massage. I couldn't help but close my eyes in comfort. This service is simply heaven on earth. Thinking back to not long ago, when I had a monthly salary of 3,000 and died from staying up all night reading novels. As a result, I ended up transmigrating into a lovesick female supporting character in a novel who shares my name. The original host was born into a top-tier wealthy family, pampered and adored by all, yet she insisted on chasing after the male lead, Gu Shiyan, for 5 years. But Gu Shiyan only had eyes for his white moonlight. In the end, under pressure from both sets of parents, Gu Shiyan was forced to marry me for an arranged marriage. After marriage, Gu Shiyan often didn't come home. Even when he did, he treated the original host like furniture. Unable to bear the neglect, the original host started causing trouble, ultimately leading to a tragic end with family ruined and lives destroyed. It's like throwing away a winning hand. I shook my head, faced with the club manager's sales pitch. I made a grand gesture, using Gu Shiyan's card to recharge 1 million. Gu Shiyan pushed open the private room door and saw me feeling a man's abs, unable to take my hands off. The feel is pretty good. How long have you been practicing this? The young hunks are scrambling to show off their abs. I've got some too, sis. Do you want to feel them? I've got some too, sis. I'm almost getting a nosebleed from watching. The life of the rich is really awesome. I was just thinking about touching them again. With a bang, followed by a cold, sharp reprimand. Get out, all of you. I didn't expect Gu Shiyan to come. The fun was interrupted. Reluctantly, gave the young hunk's waist a squeeze. You all go out first. I'll look for you later when I'm free, sis. Gu Shiyan's face was icy cold, as if it could freeze a cow to death. Soon. The private room was so quiet, only the two of us remained. I leaned on the sofa and sized him up. No wonder the original owner fell in love at first sight with this man. This face instantly made all those young hunks just now pale in comparison, with sharp brows, starry eyes, and a tall, straight nose. Bridge. The button at his collar undone, revealing a sexy Adam's apple. He just stood there with his hands on his hips, exuding a charm that made others drool. Just as I was engrossed in looking, I heard Gu Shiyan's furious voice. Using my money to cheat on me right here? Linlin Wanwan, do you really think I won't do anything to you? Gu Shiyan looked me over with a cold face. A graceful swan-like neck, sexy collarbones, and beneath the skirt, faintly visible, long and fair legs. Such an alluring Linlin Wanwan was something he had never seen before. Moreover, she showed no panic at being caught. Completely different from the woman who, just 2 hours ago, could only jealousy and act hysterically. I retorted righteously, what do you mean, your money? We're husband and wife. Your money is my money. If you can spend money to wine and dine your white moonlight, why can't I spend money to have someone keep me company? I wasn't afraid of him at all. The book repeatedly emphasized Gu Shiyan's disgust for the original owner, to the point where even touching her made him sick. In short, if he laid a hand on me, it would be equivalent to self-harm. Gu Shiyan laughed in anger. Stop pretending. You deliberately used my card and caused such a big scene just to make me come over. I looked up at him, gently held his hand. Then you left Sukian to come over. Doesn't that mean in your heart I'm more important than Sukian? Gu Shiyan's face instantly turned cold. I told you not to push your luck with me. This is the last time. If I see you like this again, then our marriage is over. After saying that, he shook me off in disgust, picked up a tissue nearby to wipe his hands. Just as written in the book, disgusted by any physical contact with me. I almost chuckled out loud, rubbed my chin, sat back on the sofa, crossed my legs, not even letting me sleep with you. This marital affection, I stopped wanting it long ago. If you throw the divorce papers at me now, if I hesitate for even a second, then I Lin Wanwan am a dog. Gu Shiyan paused his actions, looked at me. A hint of a smile spread at the corner of his mouth. Divorce? Are you sure? You went through so much trouble to marry him back then. And just now, you look so desperate for him. Hearing the word divorce from this man's mouth is simply the biggest joke. My gaze lingered on his face for a moment, then moved down to his abs. Either let me touch you, or divorce. Gu Shiyan's face instantly darkened, called his assistant right in front of me to draft a divorce agreement, deliver it to my home first thing tomorrow morning. I picked up the unfinished drink from the side, finished it without wasting a drop, put the glass down, then stood up. Don't you dare regret the choice you made. Gu Shiyan let out an incredulous laugh. He was just about to say something. I completely ignored him, turned around, and left. Gu Shiyan stood there in a daze, watching, becoming even more convinced that I was drunk. That's why I was acting out of character, daring to oppose him and bring up divorce. When I got home, I went straight upstairs to my room. Gu Shiyan watched Lin Wanwan, who paid him no attention at all. It wasn't until my figure disappeared that he snapped out of it. He sat down on the sofa. The image of the woman who wanted to divorce him tonight surfaced in his mind. He couldn't help but let out a cold laugh. He was going to see what she would look like tomorrow when the divorce papers were thrown in her face. Thinking of this, Gu Shiyan got up and went upstairs. He paused outside my door, then heard my voice coming from inside. Today is a good day. Everything I wish for can come true. Tomorrow is another good day. Precious time waits for no one. Gu Shiyan listened to my drunken, howling singing. He paused, wanting to stop my craziness. Twisting the doorknob, he found I had locked the door. That woman who usually schemes to sleep with him the moment he gets home has now actually locked him out. My singing continued from behind the door. I believe I am who I am. I believe in tomorrow. I believe youth has no horizon. Gu Shiyan watched me acting so drunk and crazy, and eventually turned and walked away. The room I live in is the master bedroom, because Gu Shiyan refused to share a room with the original owner. He chose to sleep in the guest room. So now, this has become the original owner's room alone. I looked at the big and luxurious room, the dazzling array of designer bags in the closet, and the various expensive cosmetics. While singing happily, I comfortably soaked in the large bathtub meant for two, took a bath, and finally lay down on the comfortable, soft big bed. It felt like a dream, so beautiful, it seemed unreal. The next morning, Gu Shiyan got up and saw that on the dining table, there was no breakfast prepared as usual, nor was I there eagerly waiting for him. He glanced at my bedroom door and couldn't help but smirk. Sure enough, this woman was afraid. After sobering up, trying to play turtle and hide in its shell, recalling how insistent I was about divorce last night, he immediately smirked, threw the divorce papers on the coffee table, and then went to the company. I've never slept in such a comfortable bed before. I woke up naturally, and it was already noon. Seeing that I was still in this luxurious room, I confirmed that I had indeed transmigrated into the book. I went over the plot again. In the book, our marriage lasts less than 3 years, meaning in less than a year from now, Gu Shiyan will bankrupt my family. Let me leave with nothing but the clothes on my back. The book only briefly touches on the descriptions of business warfare. I don't know what methods Gu Shiyan used either. But the life of the rich is so sweet. No matter what, I can't let the family go bankrupt. I got up, got ready, and went downstairs. I saw the divorce agreement on the coffee table. I immediately picked up the pen and signed it. Hesitating for even a second would feel like a disrespect to divorce. After that, I also took out that card from Gu Shiyan from my pocket, placed it on the divorce agreement, then took the original owner's important belongings and went home. My mom saw me coming back, immediately put down what she was doing and came up to me. Lin Wanwan, why are you coming home at this hour? Did Gu Shiyan kick you out? I smiled and shook my head, saying, no. Really, nothing. My mother clearly didn't believe it. Usually at this time, I would be busy delivering lunch to Gu Shiyan. How could I remember them? My mother came forward, took my hand, and said, then why didn't you call ahead when you came back? I could have had the servants prepare your favorite dishes in advance. Hey, when did you change your hairstyle? It looks really nice. And this outfit is pretty too. My mother looked at me, her eyes filled with nothing but me. While talking to me, she also asked Jiang Ma to make a few of my favorite dishes. Every gesture radiated the joy of seeing her daughter. I'll call your dad. And have him come back for lunch too. Before I could stop her, my mother had already dialed the number. I took the opportunity to look around the house. The more I looked, the better I felt. As soon as she ended the call, my mother held my hand again, asking all sorts of caring questions. It was clear that since the original owner married Shiyan, my mother had been worried that I wasn't happy. Lin Wanwan, if anything happens, you must tell Dad. And Mom, we will always be your support. Looking at this beautiful and warm mother before me, and thinking of her tragic ending in the book, I couldn't help but step forward and hug her. In my heart, I was determined to rewrite their ending. My mother's body stiffened for a moment. How long had it been since her daughter hugged her like this? Mom, I'm sorry. I've made you worry these past few years. I won't ever do it again. Listening to my words, my mother's eyes instantly reddened. Ever since I got married, I've come back less often. Even when I did return, it was always because of Shiyan. Back then, she said, forced love isn't sweet. But her daughter insisted on marrying no one but him. They only have this one daughter, always cherished and dotted on. I wanted to marry Shiyan, so they gave in to my wishes. After marriage, seeing I wasn't happy, watching my pride and light fade away bit by bit, seeing my world seem to shrink until only Shiyan remained, I began to confuse right and wrong. As a mother, she saw it all, and it pained her heart. Hearing the choke in her voice, seeing my mother's reddened eyes and her tears fall, I raised my hand to wipe her tears away, smiled at her and said, Mom, look, I'm perfectly fine now. My mother looked at her daughter, feeling I had changed a lot since returning this time. Like I'd gone back to how I was long ago. When the meal was ready, my father came home too. He even brought Zhang Huayan back with him. Zhang Huayan is the daughter of my father's close friend, 3 years older than the original host. After both her parents passed, she lived with her grandmother. But it was hard for the elderly to raise a child. So the Lin family took her in and cared for her like a son. They supported her in life and studies till she graduated from university. During college, he worked part-time at the Lin Group. After graduation, he even became a company executive. I stole a glance at him, meeting his gaze as he looked over. In the book, the original protagonist always saw him as an older brother. When pursuing Shiyan, I often talked about how much I liked Shiyan in front of him, then sought his advice. The demeanor he showed in front of the original protagonist was that of an older brother, doting on and protecting me, helping me without ever crossing the line. Even the readers didn't think much of it, till he learned that Shiyan and I were divorcing. Zhang Huayan came to find me, saw the scene of my car accident. He trembled as he picked me up, looking at me covered in blood. His eyes instantly reddened. He kept wiping the blood from the corner of my mouth. His voice numb, he said, Lin Wanwan, I regret it. I regret not stopping you back then. The deep affection in Zhang Huayan's eyes was like an impenetrable fog. He didn't want to hide it any longer at this moment. He wanted me to know that he had liked me for many years. He desperately tried to keep me. But no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't hold on. He could only watch my life fade away bit by bit before his eyes. It was at that moment that I felt both love and hate for his character. Then my mother smiled and went up to greet him. Huayan is here too. I also greeted him. Zhang Huayan looked at me, his tone carrying a hint of doting affection. Weren't you busy bringing him lunch every day? How come you're willing to come back at noon? I smiled and shook my head. The weather is so hot. He thinks it's too hard on me to deliver meals. He told me not to bring them anymore. As soon as these words were spoken, not only Zhang Huayan, but even my parents who were speaking looked over at me, clearly not believing it. Indeed, the ones who care about me the most don't believe Shiyan would treat me well. Seeing this, I looked at Zhang Huayan and changed the subject. How is Zhang Huayan's company doing lately? Hearing this, Zhang Huayan couldn't help but glance at me. We're working on a few big projects recently. If we secure them, the company can move up another level. I looked at him puzzled. Taking on several big projects. What if cash flow becomes tight? If the funding chain breaks, and the Gu family stands by doing nothing? Zhang Huayan smiled, said a few big projects. The company can handle them. I shook my head and looked at him seriously. I think the current market environment isn't very good. The most important thing for the company is to seek stability, ensure there's sufficient cash flow to deal with potential risks the company might face. I couldn't say it outright, so I could only hint indirectly. Zhang Huayan looked at me, his gaze carrying a hint of scrutiny. Lin Wanwan, when did you become interested in company matters? I suddenly realized. The original host never cared about company affairs. Rubbing his chin, he glanced at Zhang Huayan, still couldn't resist reminding once again. About the project. You and my dad must consider it carefully, especially the risks the project might bring, whether you can bear them. Zhang Huayan looked at me, trying to see something on my face. Did you hear something from Gu Shiyan? Trying to make us give up the competition and hand the project over to him? The original owner was a love-struck fool. Often had the family help the Gu family in the past, suddenly trying to stop them from taking the project. It's normal for Zhang Huayan to think that way. Shook my head and said no. I've just been having a dream lately. Dreamt that the family's company went bankrupt. So I'm really worried. Zhang Huayan fell silent, but clearly didn't believe it. I hesitated again and again. Glanced at my parents not far away. Leaned close to him, raised my hand to cover my mouth. Actually, I secretly overheard Gu Shiyan saying he wants to ruin the Lin family. After saying that, I pulled back. Then I saw Zhang Huayan's ears turn red. I didn't expect that would flirt with him. Awkwardly pretended not to see it. Lowered my voice to explain. I'm afraid mom and dad can't handle it, so I didn't dare tell them. I don't understand company matters. This can only be left to you. Zhang Huayan leaned back on the sofa, casually pinched his ear while looking at me. Then what about playing with you? What's the plan? I didn't have time to say anything. My mom came over and called us to eat. I looked at the table full of delicious food and instantly felt much better. My mom served me food. Eat more. Look how thin you've gotten lately. I looked at all the delicious food on the table and swallowed my saliva. It's been too long since I've had home-cooked food. That's why I've gotten so thin from hunger. Once I stay home for a few days, I'll definitely gain it back. Hearing this, my mom kept serving me more food. If you want to eat home-cooked meals, from now on, mom will have someone deliver them to you every day. I waved my hand. No need, mom. I'll be living at home from now on. At that moment, my parents and Zhang Huayan all stopped what they were doing. Look at me. I also stopped my actions and very seriously looked back at them. Mom, Dad, Zhang Huayan. I've decided to divorce Gu Shiyan. I used to think that as long as I tried hard enough, I could make him love me. But now I understand. You can't force feelings. I don't want to love him anymore. Now, just want to come back and be with you. I say this very breezily, without sadness or reluctance. But the original host's feelings for Gu Shiyan were too deep, deeply ingrained in the Lin family's eyes. My parents look at me. They don't believe I can just let go so easily. Why aren't you saying anything? You're not disappointed in me? Not wanting me to come back and mooch off you, right? Seeing me say this, my mom snaps out of it, beaming with joy. Of course not. Can you come back to keep mom company? Mom couldn't be happier. My dad picked up his phone and transferred another 10 million into my account. Come back whenever you want. Our family can support you for 10 lifetimes without a problem. Looking at my parents before me, I felt somewhat moved. In the book, after the Lin family went bankrupt, my dad couldn't stand the shock that his son-in-law was the mastermind behind it all. His high blood pressure led to a cerebral hemorrhage, leaving him unconscious and turning him into a vegetable. My mom couldn't handle this double blow, succumbed to depression, and eventually took her own life. I want to change all of this. I also served them some food. Just as I was about to put down my chopsticks, a soft voice spoke up. What about mine? Zhang Huayan was watching me at some point, with a hint of jealousy on his face, vying for attention from my parents. I glanced at him and added another piece of meat for him. Meanwhile, at the Gu Corporation, young assistant held a document and entered the CEO's office. Mr. Gu, your wife isn't coming to deliver lunch today. Gu Shiyan glanced at his watch. Usually, by this time, I would have already brought him lunch. So, because she's afraid I'll divorce her, she doesn't even dare to bring me food anymore. He looked up and gave the assistant a faint glance. What, have you gotten addicted to it? Should I call and ask for you? The assistant quickly shook his head. No. I was, actually, every time the food was delivered. In the end, it all ended up in his stomach. After eating it for a while, he got used to it. Finally, the assistant was too curious. He couldn't help but ask. This is the first time the young lady hasn't come to deliver food. Seeing that President Gu was unhappy, he quickly picked up the signed documents and left. Gu Shiyan had a rare day without being disturbed by me. After finishing work, his mind flashed back to Linlin Wanwan in a white dress last night, her eyes determined to divorce him. Gu Shiyan curled his lips. He went straight to the bar. As soon as he entered the private room, he saw several people looking over at him. He sat down on the sofa, seeing them still staring at him. His face darkened immediately. What are you all staring at me for? Are you crazy, bro? Lu Zeu walked over, tentatively asking, why isn't Linlin Wanwan following you around anymore? Gu Shiyan shot them a cold glance. Weren't you the most annoyed by her following me before? Isn't it better now that she's not coming? Don't be ridiculous. Muse, reading the room, poured Gu Shiyan a drink. We're just worried about you. Afraid that if someone doesn't want you anymore, you'll get back together. As Gu Shiyan's brothers, they knew better than anyone. Wherever Gu Shiyan went before, Linlin Wanwan would chase after him. Linlin Wanwan would never go to a club to find male models, let alone casually leave Gu Shiyan alone, going to Sanya for a trip. Gu Shiyan's entire face turned cold. If your eyes are of no use to you, just donate them all. Lu Zeu chuckled and said, hey, it's good that you don't care about him. Come, everyone, let's have a drink together. To celebrate Shiyan's brief escape from misery, Shiyan picked up his drink and took a sip, paying no attention to what they were saying at all, until as he drank, Muse held up his phone and said, Shiyan, even though Lin Wanwan forced the marriage and hurt your dignity back then, with her looks and family background, she's more than a match for you. How did you manage to avoid letting her touch you for 2 years? When my eyes were only on Gu Shiyan before, I had every one of his friends on WeChat, so they could all see my social feed. In the past, my social feed were all related to Gu Shiyan, either showing off our relationship to declare sovereignty, or writing little essays about how much I loved him. Because I knew Gu Shiyan had blocked my social feed, when I posted those essays, these buddies of his often shared them in the group to tease him. But just 2 hours ago, they noticed I had deleted everything related to Gu Shiyan from my social feed and posted about arriving in Sanya. Then, I posted beautiful photos of me wearing swim trunks, watching the sunset by the seaside and hiking, a 9-grid layout with the caption, with the one who loves me most, watching the most beautiful scenery. Gu Shiyan noticed everyone was looking at their phones. He took the opportunity to glance at it. It was a photo of me laughing happily by the seaside. Gu Zeding said while holding his phone. It feels like Lin Wanwan has changed a lot all of a sudden. Lu Zeu nodded and said, he looks pretty handsome like this. Muse smiled. This is probably what it looks like when you no longer love someone. With a bang, Gu Shiyan slammed the wine glass in her hand onto the ground. Her pretty face was cold as ice. Gu Shiyan glared at them coldly and said, are you all insane? We came out to drink. But every one of you is hugging your phones and chatting. After Lin Wanwan finished speaking, Gu Shiyan stormed out, slamming the door. Lu Zeu looked puzzled and said, I thought you didn't care? Why is Gu Shiyan so furious? Zeding smiled, saying, could it be that he's fallen for Lin Wanwan? Muse squinted and said, whether he likes Lin Wanwan or not, I don't know. But I'm starting to like her a bit. Lu Zeu and Zeding both turned to look at him. You're joking, right? Gu Shiyan got into the car, pulled out her phone, opened WeChat, and browsed through my social feed. Only then did she realize I had gone to hiking for vacation. In the photos, my eyes were filled with laughter, as if light was spilling out from within, whether it was my profile with my head raised, or facing the camera. Every movement radiated joy. My eyes seemed to hold the beauty of all things in the world. This is Lin Wanwan. Not the same person whose eyes once held love for him. It's just anger towards others. The unreasonable and troublesome golden circle playboy. A person can't change suddenly. Gu Shiyan simply doesn't believe it. The me in the photo is the real me. Others might not understand, but he understands clearly in his heart. Lin Wanwan is avoiding the topic of divorce with him. Posting her own photos on social feed is just an attempt to please him. But even though he knows my intention, he is still captivated by these unusual photos. His soul is utterly bewitched. On the other side, I'm enjoying the first trip of my life. Hiking is also the place I most wanted to visit when I was alive. The cool breeze. Enjoying a seafood feast while eating. The night view by the sea gives me only one feeling. The world is so beautiful. In my previous life when I was alive, I never had enough money. I never had the chance to experience such a life. Nor were there many beautiful moments worth recording. But now, I feel there are so many beautiful things worth recording. Like delicious food and beautiful scenery. And the love of family. The next morning, I wanted to go diving. So my mom paid for a handsome private coach for me, who took me diving, enjoying gliding through the corals, and playing among the schools of fish, relaxed and happy. Meanwhile, in the president's office of Story Group, Gu Shiyan received a call from his mom amidst his busy schedule. Son, Lin Wanwan went on a trip with another man? Did you have a fight with her? Gu Shiyan frowned. No, Gu said seriously. If not, why would she be so intimate with another man? And even deliberately posted it on her social feed. Gu Shiyan checked my social media feed. He saw that just minutes ago, I had shared a diving video, along with a caption, first time diving, happiness beyond words. In the video, there was a man, sometimes holding my arm, sometimes steadying me. They seemed to behave intimately. Because of the diving gear, the man's face wasn't clear, but you could tell he had a great physique. In the comments, mutual classmates and friends commented, public displays of affection die fast, I don't want this dog food. Such a perfect match. Who's jealous? Not me. Fellow classmate Lu Zeu saw it. Everyone mistakenly thought it was Gu Shiyan. They tagged him in the group chat. Muse laughed. Even after divorce, there's a 30-day cooling off period. Lin Wanwan's a bit too eager. Zeding nodded. Can't really blame her. Lin Wanwan is young and passionate. Who could resist? Their replies were met with a system notification. Gu Shiyan has left the group. Not a single one of you has eyes. Gu Shiyan was very confident in his heart. How could Lin Wanwan ever bear to divorce him? Her social media posts had always been meant for him. From yesterday until now. Although Lin Wanwan hasn't contacted him, her social media feed has been updating with posts from time to time. Updating so frequently. Obviously, it's for him to see. Posting this diving video is the same as ordering male escorts at the club last time. It's nothing more than to get his attention, to make him feel anxious, so he would take the initiative to reach out and give her a way out. The woman, Shiyan, snorted lightly. Lin Wanwan overestimates himself too much. Her not coming to bother him suits him just fine. Shiyan tossed his phone aside and continued with his work. But the greatly changed appearance of Lin Wanwan occasionally flickers in his mind. It irritates him, making him restless and agitated. He called his assistant in and packed his schedule with work. In the evening, he brought Soo Kian to attend the birthday banquet of the Bai family's daughter. Soon, Gu Shiyan brings Soo Kian to the banquet trended on the hot search list. Gu Shiyan often brings Soo Kian to banquets, but the grand wedding between Gu Shiyan and Lin Wanwan, which shocked the entire internet, left a deep impression on everyone through its live broadcast. And since journalists dare not offend either the Gu or the Lin family, no one dares to write about their private lives. But every time Lin Wanwan sees the hot search, she believes Soo Kian is trying to seduce Gu Shiyan. She would go cause trouble for her, warning her, in hitting her. Gu Shiyan returned to his hotel residence and saw the hot search. Images of Lin Wanwan's crazed state flashed alternately through my mind. The happy look of traveling. Somehow, there's a hint of anticipation. He took a shower and went to sleep. On the other side, I tried diving in the morning. In the afternoon, I tried surfing. Words can't describe how happy I was. At night, after showering, I lay down, picked up my phone, and immediately saw the original. The former intelligence agent sent me the trending searches about Gu Shiyan and Soo Kian. I took a glance. Together in a frame, but no scandal. I'm even anxious for them. Just about to say, I don't want to know anything more related to Gu Shiyan. Zhang Huayan video called me. Having fun? I nodded. Pretty happy. Zhang Huayan had just finished showering too, still drying his hair with a towel. Having just finished a shower, his eyes held a certain allure. His skin appeared clearer and more radiant. His lips were red and moist. I almost couldn't hold back my lustful thoughts. Zhang Huayan looked at me, muttering, I want to go too. I glanced at him. Focus on your work. What I said last time wasn't a joke. It's a real story. Falling out with the Lin family. You need to prepare in advance. The company is counting on you. Zhang Huayan paused. What he was doing, stared straight at me. Aren't you afraid I'm like Gu Shiyan? Also plotting against the company? I smiled and shook my head. No, not afraid. I trust you. Zhang Huayan looked at me. His beautiful eyes slightly warmed. I didn't expect those words to affect him like that. Had to quickly end the conversation. Alright, it's getting late. I'm going to sleep. You should get some rest too. Zhang Huayan said with an expectant look. Remember to bring me a gift. Lying in bed, thinking about Zhang Huayan's years of unrequited love for the original owner, decided to fulfill his small request. The next day, Gu Shiyan woke up, opened his phone. The hot search was still there. But Lin Wanwan surprisingly hadn't contacted him. No one had contacted Soo Kian either. He couldn't help but check my social media feed again. Saw that I had updated a new post 5 minutes ago. It was me riding the electric scooter rented from the scenic spot, with a video of me taking my mom on a tour. In the video, my stunning looks, vibrant like the spokesperson of joy, made the scenery along the way pale in comparison. This left Gu Shiyan completely stunned. Lin Wanwan hasn't returned, still continuing to travel, having time to post on social media. She couldn't possibly have missed the trending topics, but she didn't come back, and instead seemed even happier. Gu Shiyan laughed in anger, throwing her phone aside. This time, she's really outdone herself. Let's see how much longer I can hold out. Gu Shiyan's schedule for the day was packed. Returning to the hotel at night, Gu Shiyan collapsed onto the sofa, exhausted. Gazing at the warm-toned lights, her mind flashed with the image of me happily riding the electric scooter. Pulling out her phone, she checked my social media feed and saw that just a few hours earlier, I had updated again. The caption, "Only a mother's love is true." In the 9-grid pictures, it wasn't just me eating various local snacks. It was me proudly showing off some little trinkets I'd bought. In the center was a photo of me and my mom. Comment section. My dad commented, "Isn't dad good too?" I quickly replied, "Dad is good too." Zhang Huayan, seeing this, came to join in the fun. Lin Wanwan, so biased. I'm not good. I felt a bit helpless. Zhang Huayan is good. The best in the whole world. The other side. Gu Shiyan had been feeling a tightness in his chest these past few days. It's been 3 days. I haven't looked for him for 3 days. Nor have I contacted him. Yet I've been happier with each passing day. Seeing me so happy, Gu Shiyan felt uncomfortable. It was as unpleasant as swallowing a dead fly. Just then, his phone rang. I sent him a message. The tightness in his chest suddenly dissipated. This woman finally couldn't hold back anymore. For the first time, with a trace of anticipation, he opened the chat dialogue with me. But my words were very cold. It's been so many days since the divorce agreement was signed. Shouldn't we go and finalize the procedures? Gu Shiyan looked at this line of text. His eyes trembled slightly. His hand, gripping the phone, tightened again and again. After a long while, he got up and went out. Drove home. That home, which always had lights on, no matter when he returned, was now pitch black. Only the street lamp outside was dutifully shining, lonely as ever. He turned on the hall light and walked in. The house was empty. There was no sign of that figure who always waited for his return. On the coffee table, his card was placed on top of the divorce agreement. He picked up the divorce agreement and opened it. The 103 characters, Lin Wanwan, particularly striking. The paper in his hand was crumpled with wrinkles. Emotions began to stir and shift in his eyes. Lin Wanwan. That woman who was just fighting over him out of jealousy a few days ago. He actually wants to divorce me. How is that possible? Gu Shiyan let out a cold laugh in disbelief. At the same time, at the Lin family home, my mother took out local specialties from a large bag and distributed them to the servants at home. These are all things Lin Wanwan said were delicious, and brought some back for you all to try. Everyone received the local specialties and happily expressed their thanks. The joy of sharing spread throughout the house. My father was having his after-meal tea. Zhang Huayan was on a work call. Although the house is big, it wasn't cold or quiet at all. It was warm and beautiful. Holding my phone, noticed Gu Shiyan hadn't replied for a long time, and thought about calling him later. Zhang Huayan sat down next to me. What about my gift? I looked up and met his clear eyes, which held a hint of expectation. With the filter boost, this man, it's hard for me not to favor him. I stood up and opened my suitcase, taking out 2 small night lights from inside. One was made of ancient Roman-style material. The other was made of seashells. Which one do you want? Zhang Huayan looked at both of them. Who's the other one for? I didn't expose his little scheme. For myself, Zhang Huayan gave a radiant smile, picked up the ancient Roman-style nightlight and examined it over and over. After my mother finished distributing the gifts, she saw the night lights in my hand and casually mentioned, these were actually made by Lin Wanwan herself. Zhang Huayan heard this. He immediately looked up and glanced in my direction. The pleasant surprise in his eyes was nearly impossible to conceal. Did you make this? The original owner only ever made things by hand for Gu Shiyan. He had a secret crush on the original owner for many years. This is the first time he's received a gift I made for him personally. You can imagine how thrilled he must be. I gave him a cold glance. What? If you don't want it, just give it back. Zhang Huayan immediately shook his head and said he wouldn't dare. After saying that, he just looked at me like that. I could feel a deep, restrained affection hidden within his gaze. It almost made me succumb to the temptation of his beauty. I picked up my phone and stood up. I'm tired. I'm going back to my room to rest. Back in my and saw that Gu Shiyan had replied to my message. Tomorrow? See you at the Civil Affairs Bureau. In the book, Gu Shiyan bankrupted the Gu family, forced me to divorce and leave with nothing. Now, we're divorcing early. Does that mean the Lin family's bankruptcy outcome can also be changed? I'm in a great mood. Afraid of oversleeping. I even set an alarm. The next day, before the alarm went off, I was already awake, thinking about regaining freedom soon. I even made an effort to dress up. When I went downstairs, my dad had already finished breakfast and left for work. My mom was trimming flowers picked from the backyard. She saw me and called me to eat breakfast. I was in a hurry, made an excuse and left quickly, planning to surprise them after the divorce. The original host could drive. Had a license, but I don't. I can only ride an e-scooter. Was very poor before transmigrating, so I never even learned to get a driver's license. I called a car in advance, arrived at the Civil Affairs Bureau. 8:50, took out my phone and called Gu Shiyan. I'm at the Civil Affairs Bureau. When will you arrive? Right away, Gu Shiyan replied with 2 words. I waited under the shade until 9:30. Cursed Gu Shiyan's entire ancestry. Then finally saw a car approaching. I eagerly went to meet it. Gu Shiyan looked at me through the car window. Why does it feel like this woman is getting more and more beautiful? I walked toward Gu Shiyan in the sunlight, as if I were glowing, outshining everything around. I stopped in front of the car. I knocked on the window, and only then did Gu Shiyan lower his gaze slightly. He opened the car door and got out. Our eyes met. There was no trace of him in my eyes, nor any hint of sadness, only a happy smile, with a touch of unfamiliarity. It was different from what he had expected. I just gave him a casual glance. Let's go, I said, and then I turned and walked toward the entrance of the Civil Affairs Bureau. My steps were light, brimming with eagerness. At this moment, Gu Shiyan finally believed that I truly wanted a divorce. He watched my retreating figure, and the scene of being forced into marriage surfaced in his mind. Although 2.5 years had passed, it remained as clear as yesterday. Being forced to marry me was a humiliation to him. From the moment we married, he had been thinking of the day he would wipe away the shame. That day hadn't yet arrived. But I already wanted a divorce. I walked a few steps, noticed he was still standing in place. I frowned slightly, then walked back. What's wrong? Seeing him silent, a bad feeling suddenly rose in my heart. Don't tell me you didn't bring your documents. You're here to get a divorce, didn't you bring your documents? I held back my anger again and again, then have someone bring them over quickly. Gu Shiyan kept staring at me coldly, but still didn't say a word. I was utterly speechless. Make the call. Why are you looking at me? Gu Shiyan then lowered his gaze slightly. He glanced at the time indifferently, finally spoke up. I have a meeting at 10 o'clock. The divorce matter can be discussed later. Hearing this, I frowned. Since we're already here, why make another trip? Just postpone the meeting. It won't be too late to handle the paperwork and then return to the meeting. We made it here with difficulty. Too many things could change by next time. I don't want to wait. The reason I said this is because in the book, Gu Shiyan often postponed meetings for Su Qian. Clearly, the meetings weren't that important. I never expected that. Right after I finished speaking, Gu Shiyan's expression instantly darkened as he looked at me. as if I had committed some unforgivable sin. His face was cold enough to freeze someone to death. Lin Mengmeng, do you really think your matters are always the most important? The livelihoods of 100,000 employees are less important than your divorce? You think too highly of yourself. I was stunned for 2.5 seconds by his sudden scolding. This hypocritical bastard. When Su Qian asks him to postpone a meeting, is fine. When I ask him to postpone one, it affects employees' livelihoods? And the divorce is just my matter alone? Isn't it his too? Gu Shiyan didn't give me any time to react. He finished scolding and left. We agreed to get divorced. But he didn't bring his documents and was late. I should be the one who's angry. Yet he stormed off with a dark face, slamming the car door. I was so furious I wanted to curse. I already thought of the caption to celebrate being single on social feed. Where to have fun tonight. I also thought of that. But in the end, the divorce didn't go through. I went to the supermarket and bought a bunch of snacks, then went to the Gushi group's Gushi banquet. After coming from the meeting, he saw me sitting on the sofa in his office, playing games with the spicy strip in my mouth. The whole office smelled of spicy strips. There was a pile of snacks on the coffee table. All things I would never have eaten before. Gu Shiyan frowned in disgust. What are you doing here? I ate the spicy strip while looking at my phone, without even lifting my head. Waiting for you. Gu Shiyan paused his steps, glanced at me, walked back to his office chair, sat down, and looked at me. Then said, waiting for me? To eat junk snacks and play games? Without any concern for the image of a rich young lady. This Lin Wanwan is too unfamiliar to me. I finally stopped what I was doing and looked up at him. Didn't the divorce procedures not get finalized this morning? I know you're busy. I'll wait here until you're done. Then we can go. Gu Shiyan looked at me coldly. I'm busy the whole day today. I glanced at him again, half believing, half doubting. Then when will you be free? Gu Shiyan picked up a document from the side. I'll contact you naturally, when I'm free. I felt like he was going back on his word. If he wanted a divorce, how could he not find the time? But why would he go back on his word? He detests the original host so much. Wouldn't divorce be a liberation? Haven't I been tortured enough? Although the female lead in the book didn't say it. Her attitude toward the original host clearly carries revenge against me for forcing the marriage. The more I wanted his love, the more he made me taste the pain of unrequited love. Now that I want a divorce, is he going to make me experience again the agony of wanting to leave, but being unable to? Furious, I stood up. Gu Shiyan, do you not want to divorce? I'll give you 3 days. If you don't go through with the divorce with me within 3 days, then I'll file for divorce. I'm not discussing it with you, but notifying you. After saying that, I picked up my snacks and was about to leave. Just then, Su Qian pushed open the office door and walked in. Upon seeing me, fear immediately appeared in her eyes. Did I come at a bad time? Su Qian was about to retreat. Gu Shiyan waved his hand, saying no, you came at just the right time. Su Qian is the novel's female lead, a character with a tragic family background, a gambling father, a sick mother, and her broken self. Back in high school, her father couldn't repay his loan shark debts. She started working in factories turning screws from a young age. Gu Shiyan helped her, and Gu Shiyan signed her into the company, making her a red-hot celebrity. As the female lead in the book, she is kind and hardworking, with strong moral principles. From the moment Gu Shiyan helped her, she had liked him. But she always felt she wasn't good enough for Gu Shiyan. She didn't dare confess her feelings. She wanted to work hard to become better, to become worthy of him. Gu Shiyan was forced into marriage. Even though Su Qian admired him in her heart, she stuck to her principle of not being the other woman. She kept a friendly distance from him. The novel is mostly from the male leads and the original female lead's perspectives. The female lead's love for the male lead is portrayed through events. The part she has seen hasn't reached the confession yet. So the mutually restrained secret crush between the male and female leads has won readers' endless sympathy and anticipation. As for the original female lead, this vicious antagonist, people urge her to exit the story every day. At this moment, I was about to leave. I took a glance at Shiyan, then another glance at Shiyan. I left quickly. The smile on my face was genuine. You two take your time to talk. I won't disturb you. As I passed by Shiyan, I clearly felt Shiyan avoiding me. It's no wonder Shiyan is afraid of me. The original female lead always saw her as the other woman ruining my marriage. Every time she saw her, she would give her a hard time. She even hired people to beat her up several times. Now, to clear my name, I walked out of the office, considerately closed the door properly. Shiyan watched me leave in confusion. Then she looked at Shiyan, only to see him staring at the closed door. His expression extremely cold. Wait for Shiyan to walk forward with local specialties she brought back. Just saw the signing pin in Shiyan's hand, scribbled all over the document. Shiyan withdrew his gaze, looked up at him, asked what brought you here. Shiyan smiled and placed the bag on the table. Local specialty from Jiangking. Thought it was quite good. So I brought you some. To thank you for helping my mom find a doctor. After speaking, he looked at him with restrained emotion in his eyes. Are you going to divorce Sister Lin Wanwan? On the other side, I came out carrying snacks, ran into the little assistant holding documents, who was about to go find Shiyan for a signature. I stretched out my arm and stopped her. Your President Gu is dealing with something important right now. Bring the documents in after Shiyan comes out. The little assistant glanced at the office door, then looked at me. The whole person is a bit dazed. Shiyan is inside. Madam actually didn't throw a jealous fit. She could still stand here. I opened my own snack bag and ate. The assistant saw the snack bag held in front of her. Being a foodie, she couldn't resist the temptation. Took one of Dad's secret recipe mini burgers. Thank you, madam. I chuckled. In the future, be more perceptive. When you see Shiyan coming to find Shiyan, don't go in and disturb them. The assistant nodded. Without saying a word, I dropped this line and left. Letting them be together is letting myself be free. They'd better quickly lose patience and give in to their desire to be together, so Shiyan can finalize the divorce paperwork with me sooner. After all, for a contested divorce, evidence of a broken marital relationship is still needed. Seems like it's quite troublesome too. The assistant eats his dad's secret recipe mini burger, waits until Shiyan comes out, takes the documents and goes in. Can't help but add, do you know what the madam just told me? Shiyan lifts his eyes and glances at him. The assistant continues, the madam said only when Shiyan comes out. Then I can come in. She also said that in the future, whenever Shiyan comes to see you, I shouldn't come in and disturb. Shiyan throws a file at the assistant. Is it me who pays your salary? Or her who pays your salary? The assistant catches the file. Don't you think the madam has changed? It seems like she's not jealous over you. It even seems like she's trying to set you up with Shiyan. Shiyan curls his lips into a chilling smile. Have you been too idle lately? The assistant immediately shuts up, takes the signed documents and flees. Shiyan slams the pen on the desk. The smile on his lips gradually fades. His gaze slowly turns cold. I walk out of Shiyan's company, glance at the time. It's almost noon. Hail a cab directly and head home. After having lunch with mom, I find a nearby driving school online. Call to inquire about practice sessions. After all, there are so many sports cars in the garage. It's too painful to only look, but not drive. The original owner has a driver's license. I just need to learn how to drive. The driving school has a dedicated training area, which is most suit. However, after the phone call was arranged, I just called a car Togo to the driving school. Based on the principle that money makes the world go round, the driving school boss found a super handsome instructor with an extremely good temper to teach me how to drive one-on-one. Have to say, you get what you pay for. I even think I'm incredibly stupid. But after the whole afternoon, the handsome instructor never got angry, kept encouraging me, comforting my emotions, worth every penny. I spent the whole afternoon, and finally, barely learned. To thank the instructor, I treated him to a meal after the lesson. Meanwhile, Shiyan just stepped out of the company and saw the message Lu Zeu sent him. Why? Last time we were in the wrong. We didn't consider your feelings. Tonight, a few of us are hosting and treating you to dinner. 20 minutes later, Shiyan entered the restaurant and immediately spotted a familiar figure. That woman was laughing especially happily. Shiyan walked over quietly and heard me openly praising a man without any restraint. Coach Shen, someone like you has both the looks and the physique. With such great qualities, how could you waste your talent being just a coach at a driving school? Coach Shen explained with a smile. He wasn't a coach. Turns out he was the driving school owner's son. Because they were short on staff, his father forced him to teach me. I couldn't help but laugh. As I was laughing, I felt a chilling gaze. Instinctively, I looked up and saw Shiyan standing nearby. His entire face was cold as ice. Before I could even speak, Shiyan grabbed my hand and pulled me out of the restaurant. We're not even divorced yet, and you're already out looking for other men. I looked at the man right in front of me. What a waste of such a handsome face. How can his temper be so terrible? I rubbed my wrist. What other men? I was just having a normal meal with someone. Stop talking nonsense. Shiyan glared at me. A normal meal? Do you think I'm blind? I didn't want to look at his face, so I looked up at the sky instead. If you think you're blind, there's nothing I can do about it. Shiyan laughed in anger. Lin Wan Wan, do you think this is like 2 years ago? Whatever you do, I have to endure it. From now on, I call the shots between us. I watched him touch me as if he were harming himself, so I smiled and moved closer to him. Raised my hand to feel his abs, bold and unrestrained. Then why don't you tell me? What do you want to do? Shiyan swallowed hard. His face darkened as he grabbed my wrist, knowing that Shiyan hated the original owner's touch the most. Every time I touched him, Shiyan's disgust for me would grow. Seeing his face turn dark, I raised my other hand to hold his, continuing to disgust him. How about we find a hotel? Shiyan blushed, staring straight at me. The old me would never have dared to be so bold, nor so seductive. My eyes clearly held no love for him. Yet I looked like I was craving his body, treating him almost like a host boy. Shiyan swallowed again. Shiyan swallowed once more. His face turned even colder. Seeing that he still hadn't pushed me away in disgust, I made as if to kiss him. Only then did Shiyan shove me away, pulling out a handkerchief to wipe his hands. Lin Wan Wan, give up with me. You will never get what you want. Suddenly, it dawned on me. So the reason he won't divorce is because I want a divorce. I rubbed my wrist. Is it possible that I can't get it from you, but can get it from other men? Although I crave your body. But men, after all, are all the same once the lights are off. It's not like I must have you. Shiyan's face turned dark, as if soaked in black ink. He gritted his back teeth, threw away the handkerchief, and laughed in extreme anger. Then you can try. I smiled and looked at him. Isn't that exactly what I was about to try? But you interrupted me? If you have nothing else, I'll go back inside and continue. My phone is still in the dining room. Seeing that Gu Shiyan didn't stop me anymore, I went in. But as soon as I sat down, my phone rang. I picked it up and saw that Gu Shiyan had sent me a video. I opened it, and my face instantly turned pale. The video contained evidence of the original owner hiring someone to kidnap Sukion, evidence of me pushing someone onto the road, causing a car accident, and video proof of me hiring people to beat Sukion. This evidence is enough to sentence me for several years. Previously, Gu Shiyan didn't reveal it because he was wary of Lin Jia. Now that he's bringing it out, it seems he's no longer afraid of Lin Jia. I've only had a few good days. I didn't cross over here to enjoy going to prison. The message Gu Shiyan sent me. You have 2.5 minutes to come up obediently. Gu Shiyan wants to use this to threaten me. Although I'm unwilling, I really don't want to go to jail. Chen saw that I didn't and poured me a glass of water. What's wrong? I waved my hand. Sorry. I have something to do and need to leave first. Take your time eating. After speaking, I quickly paid the bill and went upstairs to the private room to find Gu Shiyan. When Lu Zhao arrived at the private room, he happened to see the scene between Gu Shiyan and me in front of the car. So he took a photo and brought it to the private room, sharing it with the brothers. From his angle, the photo looked as if Gu Shiyan was overwhelmingly in control, being intimate with me. Then everyone went to the window to look, and saw me walking away without looking back, making them even more certain that Gu Shiyan had forced me. Lu Zhao said with some surprise. No one mentioned Lin Wanwan. As soon as Gu Shiyan walked into the private room, Lu Zhao immediately stepped forward to greet him. Everyone was chatting and laughing, completely avoiding mentioning my matter. When I pushed the door open and entered, all three of them were unexpectedly stunned for a moment. Lu Zhao, being very perceptive, quickly stood up and vacated the seat next to Gu Shiyan, placing a new, unused set of utensils. Lin Wanwan is here. I smiled and raised my hand to greet them, glanced at Gu Shiyan, and then walked toward him. The three of them looked at me, then at Gu Shiyan. As usual, treating like I'm invisible. I gritted my teeth, used chopsticks to directly pierce through the plastic wrap on the bowl. She moved closer to Gu Shiyan and lowered her voice. What do you mean? Gu Shiyan curled his lips. I just want you to be more obedient. My fists clenched. Does this damn man have no other hobbies besides torturing me? I put on a fake smile, picked up my chopsticks, and served him food. Okay, dear husband. If you tell me to go east, I won't go west. If you tell me to warm the bed, I won't just warm the bed. Gu Shiyan glanced at me and set down his empty wine glass. I immediately filled it for him. After practicing driving all afternoon, I was actually hungry too. Seeing that Gu Shiyan wasn't making any demands, I went ahead and ate with relish on my own. After finishing a bowl of rice, I noticed everyone was looking at me. I served myself another bowl of rice, gave them a big smile. Do you want some? I can serve you. The three brothers were even more surprised. Lin Wanwan, who usually only has eyes for Gu Shiyan, actually offered to serve them rice. The next second, Gu Shiyan finally spoke. You enjoy helping people so much. Help me peel this bowl of shrimp. I was so angry my fists clenched again. Damn it, I want to eat them myself, but don't even want to peel them. I smiled and sat down, looking at him. I took the bowl of shrimp. While peeling, I thought about how to break the situation. I don't want to keep being threatened by him like this. I was so lost in thought. I absent-mindedly ate the shrimp I peeled. Gu Shiyan watched me eat the shrimp myself, and saw how I was enjoying it on my own. His gaze turned dark and unreadable. I felt a chilling stare that could freeze someone to death. Only then did I snap out of it. Quickly, I took the shrimp I was about to put in my mouth again and stuffed it into his mouth instead. I tested it for you. It's safe, not poison. Shiyan was force-fed and instinctively started chewing. The coldness in his eyes softened a bit. The old Shiyan would have found it disgusting even if I served him food. But now, watching me feed him directly into his mouth, not only did Shiyan eat it, he seemed to enjoy it. Immediately, the brothers started teasing them. When you show off your affection, could you please consider the feelings of us single dogs? Muse toyed with the wine glass in hand, looking at me. One. Shiyan is so hard to please. Why not consider liking someone else? I stuffed the peeled shrimp into Shiyan's mouth again, looking completely smitten with him. He is a bit difficult to please, but he's handsome. I just like his handsome, aloof, and well-built appearance. Shiyan watched me telling lies, smiling on the surface, but secretly grinding his teeth in frustration. After finishing the meal and leaving the restaurant, I was still thinking about returning to the Lin family. Shiyan threw the car keys to me. You drive. I've been drinking. I can't drive. I couldn't refuse. And the original owner knew how to drive anyway. Seeing Shiyan get into the back seat, I braced myself and became the driver. Luckily, I learned how to drive this afternoon. But new drivers can't help feeling nervous, especially when driving at night. I focused entirely and drove very slowly. Shiyan leaned back in his seat, watching me drive the luxury car at a tractor speed. He was both annoyed and amused. Can you go any slower? My hands on the steering wheel were sweating. My mind completely focused on driving, unable to handle any distraction. Don't talk to me. Shiyan's face instantly darkened. Lin Wanwan, have you forgotten your place? The next second, the car shot out like an arrow. I watched the car go faster and faster. My mind went blank for a moment. Shiyan saw the sudden, suicidal speed. There was a car ahead, yet there was no slowing down. It looked like it was trying to take him to his death. His face instantly darkened. Lin Wanwan, are you crazy? Hit the brakes now. That's when I realized I had mistaken the gas pedal for the brake. I quickly stepped on the brake, but it was still a little too late. In the midst of the shock, all I heard was a loud bang. The world suddenly fell silent. I came to my senses. My neck and head still hurt a bit. I heard Shiyan, almost gritting his teeth, force my name Lin Wanwan out from his throat. I glanced back at him. I was driving just fine. But you had to talk to me. Shiyan looked at me with a cold face. He squeezed out a few words through clenched teeth. So what? Before he could finish, I cut him off, apologizing repeatedly. My fault. I'm so useless. The moment I heard your voice, I got so nervous I couldn't tell the brake from the gas. While saying it was my fault, there wasn't a hint of remorse on my face. After speaking, I got out of the car directly. Shiyan, with a cold face, took out his phone and called his assistant to handle it. After ending the call, he saw me rubbing my neck and bending over, saying something to the driver of the car we hit. The attitude is clearly that of apologizing for doing something wrong. Such a me is vastly different from the me in Shiyan's memory. The me in his memory never apologized to anyone except him. I was always willful and spoiled. Even when I did something wrong, I always had a superior attitude. I felt that others deserved it. In an incident like a car accident, the old me wouldn't even get out of the car. I would only call someone to handle it. I simply didn't care about others' lives. But now, I quickly checked if the other party was injured. Are you okay? The man touched his face and got out of the car. The bruise on his forehead marred his fair and perfect face with a flaw. I saw his face clearly and felt that my sin was great. I felt even more apologetic. This man is none other than the popular young actor Mu Yi. In the book, it was mentioned during his collaboration with Shiyan that his description was that he debuted as a child star. For Shiyan to collaborate with him in her first movie, fans everywhere celebrated. Later, his on-screen couple with Shiyan became wildly popular across the internet. At this moment, Muyi glanced at his beloved car, lowered his eyes and looked at me. A hint of amusement in his eyes. Sister, isn't this what they call disaster strikes while sitting in a car? Misfortune falling from the sky? I turned to look at him. I'm really very sorry. I will take responsibility for the car repairs. I will also compensate you for your medical checkup and emotional distress. People scream at first sight when they see him. The first time Mui met him, someone looked at him with caring eyes, as if seeing through the unhappiness beneath his glamorous exterior. In his daze, I took out my phone and said, "Can you leave me your contact info? That way, if there are any compensation issues later, it'll be easier to get in touch." Mui didn't care about the car at all, nor did he want compensation. But that look I gave him earlier made him unable to resist taking my phone and adding his own contact. After dialing, he handed the phone back to me. "Miss, don't you recognize me?" I put away my phone, a smile curling at the corner of my mouth. The big celebrity Mui. How could I not know? I'm your loyal fan. Could you give me an autograph? Mui looked at me skeptically. When this woman saw him, she clearly didn't have the excitement of meeting an idol. Seeing him unmoved, I stepped forward and hugged him proactively. "Since you don't want to sign, then give me a hug instead." Mui stood there stunned. Unlike the excited, frenzied hugs from fans, I held him quietly, as if confessing, and as if comforting him. Shiyan watched me handling the accident from the car, and it somehow turned into flirting with a man. His face instantly darkened. He got out of the car, pulled me out of the man's embrace. Just as the assistant hurriedly arrived, Shiyan took my car keys, pulled me along as he left. Mui stood there watching me, his mind still replaying the words I had just said. Shiyan looked at me with a gloomy expression. His voice was icy cold. "Lin Wanwan is cuckolding me right in front of my face. You're getting bolder and bolder." I moved closer to him and said, "Shiyan, my life is in your hands now. You won't let me touch anyone else. Even if I had the desire, I wouldn't have the nerve. All I'm thinking about now is how to make it up to you. How about I warm your bed tonight?" I pretended to lean closer to him again. Sure enough, the next second, Shiyan was disgusted all over again. With a cold face, he opened the car door, shoved me inside. On the way, I received a call from my mom. "It's so late. Why aren't you back yet?" I didn't want them to worry, but since I can't get a divorce now, and I'm being threatened by Shiyan, there's no way I can stay at home every day. I had to say, "I'm not coming back tonight." Shiyan apologized to me. I decided to give him a chance. Shiyan snorted at me through the rearview mirror. My mom had known all along it would come to this. She wasn't too surprised, just a little disappointed. "Then tomorrow, go back to the Lin family with him for a meal." I glanced at Shiyan, who was driving, temporarily agreed. My mom added with concern, "Remember to tell mom if anything comes up. Get some rest early." I hummed in agreement. "You and dad should get some sleep early too. And don't always worry about me." As soon as I ended the call, Shiyan's annoying voice started up. "I admit I was wrong." "Wrong about what?" I waved my hand with a laugh. "Just to humor them. It's just an excuse for my parents. How could you possibly be wrong? It's all my fault. I think that me being clearly unhappy, but still having to placate him, gives him the satisfaction of tormenting me. Keeping him satisfied makes my life easier." But Shiyan pushed his luck and continued, "I remember you used to love writing those long posts on social media. Since you were wrong, write one tonight." No less than 8,000 words. The original owner used to write them every day. Gu Shiyan blocked them and never looked. Now that I don't love him, I've deleted all those long posts. Yet he's forcing me to write again. I could only agree with a laugh. I'll write it when I get back. When I got home, I went straight to my room and sent a message to Zhang Huayan. Zhang Huayan, what are the chances of us taking down Gu Shiyan? Dad sees me earning 1,000 a month and actually still can't find a partner. So he went and arranged for a domineering CEO to be my husband. The CEO is 188 cm tall, never comes home, and even threw me an unlimited black card to spend as I please. Gu Shiyan only took a short 2.5 years. Thus, the Gu Group leaped to become a leading local enterprise. He must have done a lot of shady things. I want to be free from his threats. Then I have to overpower him and keep him under control. I refuse to believe that I, someone who has traveled through time, can't outsmart him. The next second, Zhang Huayan video calls me with a smile on his face. You hate him that much? But then he notices I'm not at my own home and frowns slightly. You went back to the Gu family home again. I didn't hide it. I told him about Gu Shiyan using the video to threaten me. You probably didn't know about these things, right? Zhang Huayan was silent for a long while. It seems they really didn't know. The things Gu Shiyan handled privately for me, for the sake of the company's development, have now become leverage to control me. So I have to bring down the Gu family, get leverage to threaten him. I remember the companies under the Lin family have their own film and television industry chain. Have someone send me the profiles of the artists under them. What do you need this for? I thought of a great project to make money. It's hard to explain over the phone. I'll give you the details tomorrow. As a working dog who treats writing as a side job. Before crossing over, I had just learned about the short drama industry, of a few million, had daily revenues breaking 100 million, crushing traditional TV dramas, even big budget productions with investments of hundreds of millions. Plus, short dramas have a short production time. Several can be filmed in just a month. As long as I take all those hit short dramas I've seen and produce them all at once, by the time they're released, others won't be able to keep up even if they try to copy. End call. I had just finished showering when I received the email with the materials. I opened my computer and looked through them one by one. The company had just signed a batch of newcomers recently. I decided to take some time to visit the company. For now, I need to first turn those popular dramas into scripts to free myself from the threat as soon as possible. I got right to work. Just as I was getting into the writing groove, Gu Shiyan sent me a message. Why is 800 words so difficult? Maybe I should increase it to 1,000 words for you. I glanced at the time. It's PM. This dog man isn't sleeping and is still thinking about my little essay. What a sicko. I was afraid I wouldn't discuss him enough. Soon, on my social feed, I posted a little essay visible only to him. I think I'm craving your body more and more. Otherwise, I wouldn't be in this quiet, late-night hour, imagining your lips that have no warmth, wondering if they are as sweet as I imagine, and that body of yours that's always covered up so tightly. I also wonder if it is as I imagine. Gu Shiyan didn't expect me to be so shameless, to so openly write about my thirst-filled fantasies of him. His face turned dark, then red, dark. But he soon realized something was wrong. Normally, whenever I post on my feed, those classmates who suck up to me would like and comment. This time of day is exactly when those people are scrolling on their phones. But quite some time had already passed. Not a single comment or like. It was obvious I was unhappy and had written it on purpose. Gu Shiyan immediately replied, "Well written. Write one every day from now on." I saw this message and without a moment's delay, rushed to write scripts. I wrote 2 opening plots in one go, then wrote 20 episodes for each. By the time I finished, it was already past M. I was utterly exhausted. I lay on the bed, my vision went black, and I fell asleep. Shiyan got up and saw no breakfast on the table. There wasn't a sound from downstairs. He turned the handle to my room door, discovered the room was still locked from the inside. He knocked on the door. I was extremely sleepy, pulled the blanket over my head. But it was no use. The knocking continued. It seemed like if I didn't open the door, he would just keep on knocking. I was so annoyed I woke up completely. Got up to open the door. What's so important it has to be said now? I was wearing white pajamas, hair a mess, yawning constantly, with a grumpy look on my face from just waking up. There was a kind of lazy beauty to it. Shiyan's face tightened, his eyes fixed on my face. Breakfast? You knocked on my door just for breakfast? I'm not a breakfast vendor. I was so mad I became wide awake. Went straight up and hugged him tightly. To disgust him, no breakfast. Why don't you just eat me for breakfast instead? A faint scent drifted into his nostrils. No longer the usual pungent perfume smell. It seemed more like the scent of shampoo and body wash. Shiyan was dazed for a moment. But very quickly, that muscle memory-like sense of disgust brought him back to his senses. He pushed me away forcefully. Are you sure there isn't any? Shiyan's face was cold and stern. His tone carried a threat. I gritted my teeth. Fine. I'll go make it for you right now. Ever since I transmigrated here, I haven't set foot in the kitchen. There weren't many ingredients in the fridge either. I finally found a pack of noodles and a few eggs. Cooked a bowl of egg noodles. By the time I finished cooking, found that the man had already left. I thought he wasn't going to eat. After finishing my meal, I had to go back to sleep for a while longer. At this moment, Shiyan sent me a message. Make it, and deliver it to the company. Sure enough, this man has a knack for tormenting people. I gritted my teeth, changed clothes, grabbed my notebook and went out. Before leaving, I saw the card I had previously placed on the divorce agreement was still on the coffee table. I picked it up and put it in my bag. Then I bought some breakfast and delivered it to the Goo Corporation. Coincidentally, Shiyan was in a meeting. I left it on his desk and hurried away. Afterward, I drove to the Lin Corporation to find Zhang Huayan. Showed him the script from my computer. I have 2 scripts about time travel and rebirth. Take a look at time travel and rebirth. Zhang Huayan curiously opened and looked. After just reading the beginning, he probably looked incredulous. The setting is very novel, right? And don't forget who wrote it. I pulled over a chair and sat down. Seeing he had read enough, I said, I plan to film them as short dramas. I explained short video dramas to him. Now, note short video has just emerged, and its user base has already exceeded 100 million. In the future, Zhang Huayan looked at me, talking about business with a well-rehearsed pitch, connecting it to the script he had just read. For a moment, he wondered. Am I a time traveler who has taken over Lin Wanwan's body? If not for a soul swap, how could there be such a big change all of a sudden? I saw him staring blankly at himself, picked up a pen and poked his forehead. What do you think? Zhang Huayan crossed his hands on the table. Since it's your idea, then maybe leave it to you to take charge. Then I'll pass the notebook to you first. You take it to the director to prepare first. I'll go to the agency later to select the male and female leads. Help me give a heads up to the agency side. I just finished discussing the short drama and was about to leave. Thought of something and turned back. One more thing. I want to bring Mui over. Zhang Huayan lowered his gaze slightly, leaned back in his chair and looked at me puzzled. Why suddenly want to sign him? Just feel he's a rare talent in the entertainment industry. He's definitely going to be hugely popular in the future. But his manager has always been his mom. Seems like there's no plan for him to sign with an agency. Have someone draft the contract. I'll handle the rest of the negotiations. Zhang Huayan looked at my confident demeanor. Was taken aback for a moment. I left the company, was just about to go to the agency, when I received a text from Shiyan. If lunch is still takeout today, you can wait to see yourself in the headlines. Lin Wanwan was fuming with anger. This man really puts effort into tormenting me. Checked the time. I went to the mall and spent over 1 million of his money. Bought gifts for my parents, then went back to the Lin family to mooch a meal. My mom saw me coming back with a happy face. I also bought gifts for them. I thought Shiyan came back with me. Kept looking toward the door again and again. You came back alone. He's busy with work. Doesn't have time to come. You didn't have to bring anything just because you came back. Why did you buy us? Anything? We don't need a thing. My mom said she didn't need anything, but she held the bag I bought her. Looking at it from left, right, top, and bottom. The more she looked, the more she liked it. Madam, this bag is so beautiful. It matches your outfit perfectly. Hearing the servant's praise, my mom stood up and held it to look again and again. Really? Lin Wanwan bought it for me. I didn't expect my mom to be this happy. I thought a rich family's mother lacked nothing. Didn't care about these things. After the meal, I asked Liu Ma to pack up the leftovers. When Liu Ma heard I wanted to pack them for Shiyan, her eyes nearly popped out of her head in shock. Miss, packing these leftovers for sir? Is that okay? Should I make 2 new dishes instead? I waved my hand. No need, these will do. Liu Ma kept glancing at me while packing. In the past, when I packed food for Shiyan, I always picked the best portions ahead of time. Extremely concerned about it. But now, it's just leftovers. By the time I arrived at Gu Corporation, it was almost 1 o'clock. I ran into the little assistant. I directly shoved the thermal container into her hands. Shiyan's meal. When Shiyan looked at his watch for the 5th time, the office door was pushed open. He instinctively looked up at the little assistant, who entered smiling, carrying the thermal container. The madam has started bringing you meals again. Shiyan's face turned a degree colder. Where is she? Gone? The little assistant, having eaten takeout for several days, missed the madam's cooking quite a bit. Seeing he had no further questions, she grabbed the thermal container to leave as usual. Then I'll head out. The next second, Shiyan coldly stopped her. Where do you think you're taking that? The little assistant glanced at him, puzzled. Don't you not eat the madam's food? Sensing a chilling and dangerous aura, she immediately shut her mouth, placing the insulated food container on the desk. Take your time with your meal, I'm going to work. Shiyan loosened his tie a bit, leaned back in his office chair, stared at that thermal container, picked up the phone beside him. I had just gotten into the car, finished talking with the agency director, when Shiyan's call came through. Buy me a cup of coffee. The one on Chenghua Avenue. Deliver it to me personally. I gritted my teeth. Is your assistant dead or something? Such a trivial matter. Using an assistant for this is a waste of talent. You're just right for the job. Well, thank you for letting me know I'm still somewhat useful. I hung up the phone, but went anyway. The talent agency. The director led me inside. I'm following the order from near to far. She looked them over one by one. Then she walked towards the men. I raised my hand and touched the abs of the boy standing on the far left. Then I gave his arm a squeeze. No abs at all. You need to work out more. Zhao Ran's face instantly turned red. I then looked at the man next to him. I raised my hand and pinched his chin. I took another look. Then I gave his waist a squeeze. A bit chubby, you should lose some weight. Li Suyan couldn't help but ask. Do we need to have a certain physique to act? That depends on what role you want to play. If you're just an extra, it doesn't matter. But if you want to be the leading man in an idol drama, you need both good looks and a good body. I didn't expect the real person to be so different from the photos. Either the looks aren't quite up to par, or the figure doesn't meet the standard. Short dramas are these shoddily produced shows. The pay is shockingly low. Even slightly famous stars aren't willing. Newcomers have to rely on their looks. As a looks-obsessed person myself, I don't even think they're good enough. How could the audience possibly be satisfied? I looked over everyone. Before formally stating my purpose, recently, my side is planning to film a few short dramas. Not the kind of TV dramas that are dozens of minutes per episode, but the kind like short videos on musical note apps. I hadn't even finished explaining when Shiyan sent me a message, buying a coffee. Did you buy it overseas? I immediately replied, traffic jam, stop rushing me. Give me another half hour. The filming cycle for one script is about 7-12 days. Pay varies by role, from 600 to 10,000 per day. If any of you want to hone your acting skills, you can sign up with the director. Under threat from Shiyan. I explained briefly and left in a hurry. When I rushed to the company, the delivery guy was already waiting at the company entrance. I went up and gave him a tip, carried the coffee, and hurried upstairs. Just as I pushed open the office door, Shiyan's cold gaze fell on me. I didn't pay it any mind, handed him the coffee I was holding, and put on an apologetic smile. Sorry. Made the CEO wait for so long. Shiyan glanced at the coffee on the desk. Didn't poison it, did you? The next second, I picked it up and took a sip, still smiling at him. But the smile didn't reach his eyes. President, are you reassured now? Shiyan's face darkened, looked at me, then at the coffee I had drunk. I walked around the desk and moved closer to him, putting on a fawning act, as if offering myself. Do you have any other needs, President? Would you like kisses and hugs? Shiyan pushed his office chair back to create distance, stared at me coldly. I watched him treat me like some kind of monster. Before I could feel happy, I heard him say he invited friends over for dinner at home tonight. Go back and prepare dinner. I ordered takeout in the morning. Went back to my parents' place to pack lunch at noon, just because I didn't want to cook for him. But he just had to make me do it. I gritted my teeth, held back my anger, maintained a service smile. Okay, President. How many friends? Chinese or Western food? 3 or 4? You figure it out. Okay, then, President, I'll go back and prepare now. I turned around and dropped the smile. This damn man can't keep tormenting me all day. I need to give him something to do. Make him focus more on the female lead. Shiyan watched me leave. His Adam's apple bob. Casually picked up the coffee on the table and took a sip. Only after drinking did he notice a lipstick mark on the rim. Belatedly realized that I had drunk from it earlier. His face instantly darkened as if swept by a violent storm. He immediately placed the coffee far away and didn't take another sip. That evening, while still in the yard, Shiyan heard the dynamic sound of music coming from the hall. Upon entering, he didn't see me, but instead, the aroma of food wafted from the kitchen. He walked to the kitchen door and saw 2 unfamiliar men cooking inside. One was offering me a taste of the finished dish. And as I ate, saying it was delicious. With your handsome looks and such a great figure, you don't look like a chef at all. I thought I'd been tricked. But it turns out, you've got real skills. As I chatted away, I suddenly felt a piercing, uneasy sensation on my back. Subconsciously turning around, I saw Shiyan's dark, gloomy face, as if I owed him billions and refused to pay. Shiyan sneered coldly, asked you to cook, and you bring 2 men back instead. You sure know how to enjoy yourself. Should I call a few more for you? As he spoke, he pulled out his phone. I quickly stepped forward and pressed my hand over his. What enjoyment! I was just afraid my cooking skills are too poor to be presentable, and might make you lose face in front of your friends. That's why I hired 2 chefs. I'm not an idiot. If I really wanted to find men, why would I bring them home? Just then, the doorbell rang. Gu Shiyan shot me a warning glance, withdrawing my hand. I immediately went to open the door. At that moment, Gu Shiyan's phone rang. He pulled out his phone. I glanced over, saw that it was Su Qian calling. I couldn't help but prick up my ears. Turns out Su Qian had just returned home and received the same City Express delivery. It was a bouquet of flowers and also a package. She opened the delivery, saw that inside was a pair of lace panties. There was also a card inside. On it was written, Su Qian, I like you. I dream about you every day. This is a gift I carefully picked out for you. I think you would look very charming wearing it. Su Qian immediately thought this was a pervert, felt like this place was being watched by him. It gave her the creeps. When calling Gu Shiyan, her voice was trembling. Brother Shiyan, can you come to my place to keep me company? My dad saw that I earn 1,000 a month and still couldn't find a partner. So he arranged for a domineering CEO to be my husband. The CEO is 188 centimeters and never comes home. He even threw me a black card with no spending limit to use as I please. Gu Shiyan picked up the phone with a puzzled look. What's wrong? I think I've encountered a pervert. Hearing the word pervert, I almost couldn't hold back my laughter. Seeing that, Gu Shiyan ended the call. I hurried to help serve the dishes to the table. Been married for 2 years. Gu Shiyan invited everyone to his house for the first time. Plus, the way we were so lovey-dovey last time. The brothers naturally assumed that the two finally achieved a positive outcome. As soon as they entered, they outpresented gifts one after another. Lu Zeu took out a love hotel room key, stuffing it into Gu Shiyan's hand. A token of my appreciation. Don't be too touched. Zhou Muse was mysteriously in a gift bag. These are all the good stuff that bros have used. I think it's pretty good, so I'm sharing it with you. Gu Shiyan saw that the gifts they gave were getting more and more outrageous. His face instantly darkened. I have something to attend to. I'll going out for a bit. I came out with the dishes and heard him say he was going out. Right away, she thoughtfully and understandingly said, if you have something to do, go ahead and take care of it. I will take good care of them. As he spoke, he placed the vegetables in his hand into Lu Zeu's hands. With sharp perception, she took the gift from his hand. Go quickly, don't delay the matter. Gu Shiyan saw how eager he was to hurry him away. Look at this room full of men again. He reached out and grabbed my wrist. You come with me. When going out to handle matters, you must always bring Lin Lin Wan Wan. The feelings have our direct such a profound level. The brothers were dumbstruck. I tried to decline. You go handle the matter. It wouldn't be appropriate for me to tag along, and there are still guests at home. How could it be that the hostess not at home to receive guests? I want to refuse. This is what I did to help them get closer. Deliberately fabricated fans out of thin air. If I had gone, how else can they strengthen their relationship? Suit yourselves. Gu Shiyan threw this remark at the brothers. He dragged me and walked out. I didn't even have time to put down the things in my hands. Only when I was shoved into the car did I realize all these gifts were actually sex toys. My little face instantly turned bright red. Immediately stuffed Themel into Gu Shiyan's hands. He will have use for it tonight. Friends are quite good at giving gifts. When I go back, I'll definitely have to offer them a drink. No way, absolutely can't go with him. Both of us have left. What if they tear down the house? I am hosting them at home. You can go and handle your busyness with peace of mind. Gu Shiyan shot me a look that seemed to see right through me. Throwing the stuff onto the back seat, he then started the car. Soon, the car arrived at Su Qian's residence. I sat in the car and watched him walk inside without even turning his head. Unable to contain my curiosity, I followed him. Peeking at the show from outside the door, Su Qian was restless at home. Seeing Gu Shiyan arrive, as if seeing a savior, immediately steps forward to greet them. Show him the card. and told him the whole story. The shipping address on the package only has Sukian's information. Gu Shiyan checked the surveillance footage. Make a call to have someone track down the courier's license plate. Then I put away my phone and looked at him. Before the matter is investigated. Let's not stay here for now. I saw them chatting so dryly. Not even a bit of physical contact. Anxiously tugging at the potted plant in front of him. Where's the promised delicate female throwing herself into my arms? Where's the promised gentle comfort from the domineering CEO? Not even a singly intimate gesture. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are all gone. Can you all tolerate this? By the time I came to my senses, the potted plant in hand has already been uprooted. In the eyes of Sukian, who had just come out. That is, I misunderstood. She got angry, her body trembled as she was about to explain. Sister Lin Wanwan, I immediately put down the potted plant in my hand, showing an accordiate harmless smile. Sorry. I'm waiting, feeling a bit bored. Be careful not to use too much force. Tomorrow? I'll get you with a new pot. Gu Shiyan gave me an inexplicable look. Sukian repeatedly waved his hands. No need. Just a pot of green plants. I don't want to disturb the two of them building their relationship. Quickening the pasito lead the way. Sukian is still quite fierce. Brother Shiyan, is Sister Wanwan misunderstanding and angry? Gu Shiyan shot me an annoyed glance, shook his head. Don't mind her. On the other side, Lu Ziyu looked at his brothers. You guys say, Yan being the kind-off person who abandons friends for a lover? He has something to attend to. Take Wanwan away as well. Muse smiled. What else could it mean? Afraid you're coveting his wife, that's why. Zeding waved his hand. I think they won't come back after going out. Should we just back off, then? Lu Ziyu pouted. The gift has been given. Why are you removing me? Not only not withdrawing. I'm going to keep taking advantage of him. Lu Ziyu just dug out the most expensive red wine from the wine cabinet. Open to celebrate. He saw me push the door open with a gloomy expression on my face. Following closely behind were Gu Shiyan and Sukian, who came in one right after the other. The three of them were stunned on the spot. I chugged down a large glass of ice water. The anger in my heart only subsided a little. Afraid that Gu Shiyan might trace the clues. I even made a special trip to withdraw cash. Spent the money from my own card. What's the point of going to so much trouble? As a result, these two made no progress at all. I unwillingly finished drinking the water. Seeing the red winey virion has opened. Suddenly had a brilliant idea. Got the bright idea to act recklessly after drinking. Sukian always turns to Gu Shiyan first whenever something happens. As soon as Gu Shiyan received Sukian's call, none of the brothers care. Rushed there immediately. What is this if not a love where both parties are moving towards each other? Just to torment me, he won't get a divorce. I can only say this bastard holds a grudge way too hard. I smiled and invited Devarion to have a drink. Just in time for me to go grab 2 more bottles. Night, no one goes home until we're all drunk. The three of them were dumbfounded as they watched me happily go get the wine. Lu Ziyu looked confused. Gu Shiyan is taking his wife to pick up his mistress. Enemy Zeding smirked mischievously. Brother Shiyan is trying to enjoy the blessings of having 2 wives. Gu Shiyan led Sukian to the table. I've already come back with the red wine. Intentionally sat at the very edge of the seating. Leave the 2 adjacenciates for them. Gu Shiyan sits in the middle. Sukian was right next to him. A bit reserved Aussie greet everyone. Lu Ziyu immediately raised his glass. I've long heard oft famous star's name. Today, I finally had the pleasure of meeting. I immediately seized the opportunity. Then you must respectfully for her a toast. Gu Shiyan shot me a cold glance. I don't know what they're thinking. The others also turned their gazes toward me in unison. I look completely innocent. I said it wrong. Shouldn't we have a drink? Drink up. Lu Zeu smiled and proposed a toast. Su Qian was eating with Gu Shiyan's friends for the first time. Of course, one cannot refuse. I immediately picked up the wine bottle. With a face full of warm enthusiasm, He stood up and approached to refill his drink. Sister Lin Wanwan doesn't need to. I can handle it myself. You are the honored guest personally invited by Gu Shiyan. How could I let you come by yourself? Gu Shiyan toyed with the wine glass, gazing at me faintly. The gaze holds an unclear meaning. I finished pouring the wine, then looked at Muse next to Lu Zeu. You should offer a toast to the big star. Muse let out a roguish laugh. Raise your glass, but was interrupted by Gu Shiyan. If you want to drink, drink it yourself. She doesn't need to pay attention to you all. No problem, and drink. Su Qian still picked up Thuyin glass and drank with him. I also offer a toast to the big celebrity. Zeding immediately followed suit by raising his glass to toast Su Qian. Su Qian can't hold his liquor. After 3 drinks, it should be about right. Back to your seat. Just about to find an excuse to get Gu Shiyan drunk. Gu Shiyan looked coldly at 3 people opposite. You only respect her like this. Is it polite to favor one over the other? This is clearly about jetting back at Su Qian. Muse smiled, playing with a wine glass. Customers come first. Why wouldn't the host go in first? Instead, it makes you suspect the host even more. I immediately wanted to give him a like. Take another glance at Su Qian. She looks upset, obviously jealous. Have the heart of a master. Oh, don't blame him. It was my oversight. I immediately came to his rescue. Fill up Gu Shiyan's wine glass. Filled his own glass again. Come here, husband. Let's all raise a toast to everyone. Gu Shiyan's face instantly darkened. With a cold expression, he picked up the cup. Gu Shiyan is a good drinker. Su Qian is drunk, that's fine. It doesn't matter whether he gets drunk or not. Look at him, he's drunk. I don't care about them anymore. He started eating on his own without waiting for others. To avoid giving Gu Shiyan a chance to boss me around. Crab, lobster, fish. Dishes that require manual service. I avoided all of them. Gu Shiyan saw how Muchi was enjoying the food. Every now and then, he gives me that icy stare. When he looked at me again, I completely misunderstood what meant. You want to eat too. Immediately after, she picked up a piece of braised pork and stuffed it right into his mouth. The next second, then I saw this man, who has a clientless obsession, looking even more displeased. I was secretly pleased. Look at Su Qian drinking alone in silence again. Very good. Stimulating and just right. After finishing the meal, Lu Zeu suggested going to sing karaoke and then continuing to have fun. But they were mercilessly driven away by Gu Shiyan. I want to run too. Picking up my phone, I made an excuse and said my mom needed me. He said to go back for a while. I'll make a call and ask what happened. I was walking out while on the phone. Leave the hall for Gu Shiyan and Su Qian. Just about to make a run for it. Just then, Gu Shiyan's voice was heard. 5 minutes. If I don't see you in 5 minutes. Today is the last of your good days. I'm so angry I can't grind my teeth. This damn thing. At a time like this, you're no thinking about your own woman. What are you thinking about me for? Su Qian looked at Gu Shiyan, feeling dizzy and lightheaded. Her cheeks are flushed. Brother Shiyan feeling really unwell. Gu Shiyan glanced at his watch to check the time, looking down at her with lowered eyes. I'll have my assistant pick you up. After saying that, he pulled out this phone and was about to make a call. Su Qian suddenly stood up. His phone was knocked to the ground. Stumbling unsteadily, she threw herself into his arms. Brother Shiyan, can he stay over tonight? I was so scared by that courier today. I don't dare to sleep alone. Gu Shiyan frowned and supported her body. Pull back the distance, lower the gaze, defy her. Then let the assistant accompany you. Soo-Kyeon raised her rain-filled eyes to look at him. I don't want her to accompany me. I want you to accompany me. I was outside having a phone call with the director of the talent agency. The response received is, out of 10 people, only 3 have signed up. 2 men. A woman. I am a bit surprised. The standards of newcomers are so high these days. But it doesn't matter. I looked for them right away. It's because they are artists from their own company, want to give them an opportunity to train and stand out. If they don't want me, I won't force myself on them. I have obtained the contact information off those who are willing to come. Turn around to see what's happening at home. Then, it was seen that the two had intimate physical contact. Such a short distance. Soo-Kyeon was still holding onto his clothes. Face to face, besides kissing and hugging. What else can you do? Is the next step to carry her back to the room? Alcohol is truly a wonderful thing. I couldn't help but smile. It's just a pity it's too far away. I can't hear anything. I was just getting into it. Shiyan suddenly whipped her head around to look at me. You startled me. Have you seen enough? Haven't you seen enough? Now, get over here. I'm speechless. Doing such a thing. Not forgetting to wear glasses in the back. After kissing, not carrying back to the room. Call me over for what? I reluctantly walked over. Shiyan's face was expressionless. I gritted my teeth, forced a smile, picked up the phone, and handed it to him. The next second, Shiyan handed the drunk Soo-Kyeon over to me. Tonight she sleeps with you. I only felt as if struck by a bolt from the blue. You let her sleep with me. Aren't you afraid I'll poison her to death? Shiyan was unbuttoning his collar as he walked upstairs, without even turning his head. If she dies, you can die with her. I gritted my teeth and looked at him. Let her sleep with you. Isn't it better for all 3 of us to live well? Shiyan finally came to a halt. Look back at me. That gaze is as eye-filled with venom. There's a wind that feels like it wants to slice me into 1,000 pieces. I was stunned for a moment. I'm so generous that I let them sleep together. Shouldn't he be happy? Shiyan slammed the door shut. I had no choice but to help Soo-Kyeon back to my room. Soo-Kyeon held me tightly and wouldn't let go. You took me for Shiyan. Brother Shiyan, I like you. I've liked you since the first moment I saw you. I recorded the voice message and sent it to Shiyan, intending to add more fuel to their relationship. However, ended up backfiring on them. You have so much free time. Have you written your lit lycée for social feed today? I see you're quite good at complimenting men. Praising with 500 words hold be a problem. I gritted my teeth and used the template from the novel that praises a man's appearance. Replicated it exactly. He also added some exaggerated remarks about lusting after his body to disgust him. Early the next morning, I left home bright and early. Now, it's the business war between the Lam Group and the Gu Group. There is still 1 year left. During this period, I must strengthen my own company. I plan to start with the Lam family's film and television industry first. First, bring the popular young actor Kino. So I had the company use their song of discussing a collaboration. Ask his mother to meet up. 2.5 hours later. In the elegant private tea room, Mui's mother, Fang, arrived late. Fong Qing saw it was me at a glance. The look of disgust instantly appeared in their eyes. Director Yoon. I took a look at her. Just thinking about what she did to her own son. Didn't give her a friendly look either. He threw the contract directly in front of her. Director Yang has something to discuss with you. Do you even know what you're talking about? Fong Qing says with her mouth. But still picked up the contract. The movie that just premiered, starring Myson, has the potential to become a massive hit. Taking on a role at this time. Their status will rise accordingly. She's been busy lately, discussing Colazente everywhere. See who offers the highest price. Seeing that this isn't about discussing script collaboration, But to sign the son's contract, she threw it right back, looking at me like I'm an idiot. Is it the wrong file? What director Yang said on the phone? But there's a new drama looking to collaborate with us. I leaned back on the sofa. She crossed her legs and looked at her. To be honest with you, we just want to sign Mui. That might disappoint you. Fong Qing directly picked up her bag and stood up. I said unhurriedly, your son has severe depression. The entertainment industry is never short of actors. Your son has just achieved a little success. If this secret gets out, you think, will anyone still be willing to take the risk of hiring him for a movie? Fong Qing's face instantly turned deathly pale. She turned her head and looked at me. How did you know? I know far more than just this. I looked at her indifferently. For example, you and your husband are addicted to gambling. When out of money, they exploit Thierson to work as a drinking companion. If these get exposed online, what do you think his fans who love him would do? I looked at her calmly and unhurriedly. Fong Qing's legs completely gave way at this point. He was the one who told you. Do you think if he was willing to tell others, I wouldn't have waited until now? I snorted coldly. There are no walls in this world that wind cannot pass through. I just wanted to hold his hand, so I put in a little extra effort. He treats you like a mother. I don't want you to become the target of public criticism, even if it's self-harm. Only on the thighs where others can't see. But I'm not a philanthropist. Not because I wanted to sign him. I've long since expiated those things you did. After saying that, I stood up and walked a few steps. I couldn't help but pause again, looking at her with a mocking smile. I'm very curious. You watch him suffer from the torment of depression. How could they bear to ignore him and continue to exploit him? You carried him for 10 months and gave birth to him. It's because of love. Or is it just to have a money-making tool? I also want to ask me parents this. But I don't have a chance anymore. I want to get an answer from her. But obviously, this woman couldn't give me what I wanted either. Recalling those years of being beaten, scolded, and exploited. Leaving the private room. Carried away by emotions, eyes reddening. I leaned against the wall to catch my breath. Gu Shiyan had just finished discussing matters with someone and came out of the private room. I then saw myself outside of the adjacent private room. I leaned against the wall, solitary and alone. Tears slid down the face. He looks very sad. The person who came out with him saw him stop in his tracks, subconsciously glanced at it. What's wrong, President Gu? Gu Shi lowered her gaze slightly. Turning back, I sighed a few words to him. Then turn around and look at me. My figure is already gone. Gu Shiyan had someone check the surveillance footage. Back at the company, call the assistante the office. Check what Lin Wan and Fang Qing talked about today. Half an hour later, the assistant replied to him. Madam went to discuss the matter of signing with Mui with Fang Qing. When did she start interfering with the Lam family's business? Gu Shiyan remember the last time on the road. I was the one who took the initiative to throw myself at that minor celebrity. So the reason I'm upset is because I didn't get his autograph. Gu Shiyan threw the phone aside. Sign Mui to the company. The assistant glanced at him. Okay, President Gu. I'll take care of it right away. At that moment, Gu Shiyan's phone suddenly rang. He picked it up and took a look. Your account. Consumer spend 99,999 yuans. Gu Shiyan sneered coldly. Spending my money. Thinking of another man. Dad sees that you earn 1,000 a month. Still can't find a partner. He arranged a domineering Chiodo be my husband. Right back at me. President 188 never goes home. And he even tossed me a black card with no spending limit, telling me to spend as I please. After I came out from the tea house, went straight to the mall. I bought my mom a full set of makeup, bought a few more belts for my dad. Just about to return to the Lin family, Gu Shiyan sent me a message. You're so good at shopping. Buy me 2 outfits and bring them over. I gritted my teeth and replied okay to him. I don't even know what size he wears. I had no choice. Budo asked the assistant. Finally chose custom-made suits. Just got back in the car. Mui, who hadn't been in contact for a long time, sent a message, "Sister, I want to meet up with you. Let's talk about the contract." I checked the time and Aranjetto meet him in the afternoon. Afterwards, drive to the GU group to deliver the clothes. I put the bag down in the CEO's office. "The clothes you requested, Lord Choi." Gu Shiyan looked at my forced smile. Took a glance at the clothes bag. "It doesn't look good. Go buy it again." I was speechless. What is the difference between set you are wearing and this one? If it doesn't look good, why do you wear it every day? You think I wear this every day, and I'd be missing this style? Gu Shiyan had a cold expression on his face. It doesn't seem like Thera deliberately making things difficult. But that only makes me angrier. So what do you want then? It's hard to say. You'll only know after watching it. I'm so angry my fists are clenched. I'll go buy you a new one right now. Gu Shiyan glanced at his watch and saw that there was no hurry. It's time to eat. It's not too late to buy it in the afternoon. I was just about to think. This man still has a shred of humanity. Just then, I heard him continue, "Go back and cook first. At noon, I want toet braised pork belly, steamed sea bass." This man even ordered the food. And specifically picking troublesome ones. I'm so angry I want to swear. With so much money, why still make things so difficult for people? I bought groceries back to the Lam residence and had the servants help me prepare the ingredients. I only handle seasoning and cooking. The rest was left to the servants. I went back to my room to catch up on some sleep. After finishing the meal, delivered the lunch to Gu Shiyan's company. I went to the mall to pick out clothes for him. I have never bought clothes for a man. I can't be bothered to put in the effort to pick one out for him. Arrived at the clothing store. Just let the staff pick a few outfits for me. Match it well, then take a photo and send it to him. Do you like this set? Gu Shiyan instantly replied with an ugly face. I was browsing women's clothing while send one set over at the same time. Still ugly. In the end, I directly took out his car. I'm in a hurry, so I'll just buy these 2 women's outfits for now. Men's clothing, you help me put together the outfit. Send me the picture. Gu Shiyan made it blatantly obvious that it was intentional. I'm a fool for constantly picking things out for him. Here. I sent the 3rd set of photos to Gu Shiyan. Then we went to a restaurant with good privacy. Booked a private room. Just entered the private room. Wu Na from the opposite privateeroom came out of the restroom. Just happened to see me. I couldn't help but freeze for a moment. Su Qian said she has changed. The way you dress and present yourself freely seems to have changed a lot. I sent a location to Mui. Then turn on the computer. While writing the script, dealing with Gu Shiyan at the same time. It wasn't long before Wu Na saw a boy wearing a hat and a face mask. Entered my private room. She directly sent a message to Gu Shiyan. Your wife is on a date at the Cha Chan Teng. Little fresh meat. At this moment I am meeting with Mui. I see Mui is here. Raised a hand to say hello. He picked up the drink and took a sip. I casually sent Anna Thurfito to Gu Shiyan. Looking up, I saw Maya staring straight at me. I took a sip of my drink. Jokingly asked how. I've got a crush on your sister. Mock also embarrassed liveted his gaze. I was just curious how you convinced my mom. Of course, it's because the terms I offered were too good. Your mom called treacherous the temptation. Then why did you offer such favorable terms? Because you're worth it. I was afraid he would misunderstand, so I added, you're so outstanding. I believe you will create greater value for the company in the future. Mui stared at me for quite a while, as if finally confirming something. Sis, your tasterially is terrible. You like Gu Shiyan, but the whole world knows that Gu Shiyan doesn't love you. And I'm not as good as you think I am. I don't care about the first part of his sentence, holding back a smile while looking at him. How come we just signed the contract? Just afraid of letting me down. Just as I was speaking, my phone rang. I opened it and looked. Shiyan sent an ugly message. I casually reposted another photo. The next second, the private room door was violently slammed open. Shiyan walked in with a dark expression on his face. Looks like they're coming on strong. I had no time to think. He was pulled up behind him in one swift motion, holding the waist firmly and possessively, stuck in the embrace. The warmth of their skin instantly merged together. I was a bit surprised. This man, this time. The self-torture is a bit extreme. It seems I've been fooled. Quite furious, Sister Muya also stood up, worriedly looking at me. Shiyan looked at me coldly, slowing down a beat, hesitated coldly and deeply. Let him get lost. I gave Muya a reassuring look. You go back first. After Muya left, the private room was suddenly left with only 2 people. Shiyan looked down at me with a sidelong glance. His icy eyes were filled with a raging storm. You're quite good at playing mind games with me. I glanced at him weakly. You asked me to pick out clothes for you. I'm picking out clothes for you. Every set sent by the store manager. I have also been watching it. Seriously. I've sent you all theons I thought looked good. You couldn't possibly be jealous, could you? I reached out to touch his abs. I know best what can disgust people. He said he likes me. How could he stand me being jealous? Shiyan seemed to have heard the joke of the century. He cast a cold, heavy glare at me. You really do overestimate yourself. After saying that, he grabbed me and left. 2.5 minutes later, Shiyan took me into the men's clothing store at the mall. He sat down on the rest chair, glanced at me. Pick one for me. I took the store's new model displayed in the most prominent spot and showed it to him. How about this one? Shiyan glanced at. He continued to look down. The phone clearly didn't catch his eye. I ran back and forth Tajit more than 10 sets, running my legs off. Shiyan just sat there, crossing legs. Don't bring over just any piece of clothing. You pick clothes for yourself so casually too. Green, do you want Tajit me cuckolded again? While browsing the second store, I can't hold back anymore. I think this one is pretty good. Why don't you give it a try? Shiyan shot me sidelong glance. If you think it's good, I'll try each one. I can't even make it to this store alive. He says he dislikes it. Still took the clothes into the fitting room. Finally, I can take a break. I took out my phone, replied to a few messages, ordered a drink. Just about to sit down, I was immediately called out. Lin Wan Isher give you. Hubby's buying clothes. Will he wear the clothes you buy for him? A woman should still find a husband who truly cherishes her. Look at me going out for a stroll. My husband insisted on coming along. Afraid that if I get tired, there will be no one to take care of me. The woman's perfume smells pungent. I couldn't help but frown. From the original owner's Morimoris, it is known that this person is Theon from high school. Young lady Zhang Yao of the Zhang family always wants to compete with the original owner. I can't be bothered to argue with him. Thank you for your thoughtful intentions. Don't waste your time on me anymore. Pay more attention to your own husband. Don't be the one wearing the green hat yourself. Still unaware that there is a passage about him in the book. At a future dinner party, he set his sights on the female lead, Su-Kian. The mail lead arrived just in time. The fact that he had been kiating suicide for a long time was exposed. Zhang Yao thought she had married a husband who truly loved her. I simply don't believe a word I say. Hugging her husband back and showing affection. Lin Wanwan know you're in love, but can't have it. Can't stand seeing others find their happily ever after. But I didn't expect you to be this jealous. No wonder Gushiando is like you. I have a crush on Sukion. I was amused by her stupidity. Arms crossed, clinging to her. What's wrong with me? I'm richer and better looking than you. There's no green hat on the head. At most, I would just be living as a grass widow. After divorce, still a hot commodity. At least it's better than you treating a piece of crap like a treasure. Who are you calling a piece of crap? The man pushed me with a grim expression on his face. I didn't expect this man would resort to violence. Stepped back a few paces. His back crashed into a wall of flesh. Just as I steadied myself, Gu Shiyan shoved me aside. He kicked the man right in the stomach. Zhang Yao saw Gu Shiyan. Unbelievable, his eyes widened. Gu Shiyan, why are you here? Why am I here? Need to report to you. Gu Shiyan gave her a cold glance. Showing off with something like this. Aren't you ashamed of yourself? At this moment, the drink I ordered arrived. I drank while watching Gu Shiyan beat someone up. Gu Shiyan turned around. Seeing me on the side drinking a beverage and watching the show. His face instantly darkened slightly. What are you looking at? Come over here. I walked over. Immediately started kissing up. Changed into a different set of clothes. I thought some idol celebrity had arrived. I almost didn't recognize you. Gu Shiyan stared at me coldly. Without any hesitation, he bossed Diao Pai around. Stuck in a tight spot and scraping by. I resisted the urge, tossed on my toes toward him, reaching into the back of his neck to fish out the pendant. For a moment, Zhang Yao and her husband were completely dumbfounded. Didn't you say it would be free? Isn't it said that Gu Shiyan didn't like her? Didn't you say you were left to lead the life of a grass widow? At this moment, Gu Shiyan's phone rang. He reached out, took out his phone, and answered the call. Mr. Gu, Mui has auditioned with the Lin Group. Gu Shiyan gritted his teeth, looking at me, who was drinking juice on the side. Then poached them over. I finished drinking the juice, feeling refreshed and clear-headed, looking at Gu Shiyan. Then he saw him staring at himself with a gloomy expression. What could make him so angry? Does that mean you want me to get lost? I quietly waited for him to speak. Gu Shiyan changed out of his clothes. Open your mouth and ask me to pay the bill. I came out after paying the bill. Gu Shiyan turned around and entered a shoe store again. Sit down and look at me coldly. Ordered. What are you standing here for? Go pick one for me. I got him a model. How about this? Gu Shiyan curled his lips in a cold smirk. See how we can see the results. You have to try it to find out. I handed the shoes to him. Gu Shiyan glanced at me and said, You come. Now I get it. This damn man is annoyed that trying on clothes didn't torture me enough. Changed to trying shoes now. I gritted my teeth. Smiling, squat down beside him. Put new shoes on him. How about it? Not so great. Gu Shiyan glanced at. Take out the finito check messages. At this moment, Lu Zhao shared a news article in the brothers group chat. Jinghao Gu Shiyan does not like Lin Wanwan. Jinghao clicked in link and saw. Side, there are photos of me helping Gu Shiyan retrieve the tag just now. There are also some other ambiguous photos. He was looking at me. And I think she's. Gu Shiyan is the person involved. He knows better than anyone else. I see no love in his eyes at all. The atmosphere captured in the photo gives an illusion of love. The comment section actually believed it. This generation of netizens is really slick with sarcasm. I was successfully tricked by the title into clicking. I came here to watch the show. You're shoving a mouthful of dog food at me. Are you even being polite? Lin Wanwan's life is an absolute winning streak. This man only has eyes for her. It made me instant client to become her. This is what you call it being in love. What the hell do you call this if not love? The assistant saw the trending search about the president and his wife. Call immediately to have hot search taken down. She has been with the president for so many years. The CEO hates trending on social media with his wife the most. Especially the trending pics about their loving relationship. Every time I see it, I have her take it down. After the withdrawal, she still has to face scolding and a pay deduction. Wait until Gu Shiyan returns to the company. The assistant brought the documents for him to sign. With a hint of showing off, President Gu said, "You and the madam are trending on social media again." But I react quickly. Take it down immediately. This meeting is no longer on the hot search list. Gu Shiyan lifted his eyes and glanced at him. The assistant still hasn't heard any praise. It feels a bit off. I took a glance at him. Then I saw him smirking coldly. He said, "I see you've been quite free lately. One day's time. I want to see all the information about that project in the northern suburbs." The assistant left looking completely bewildered while holding the documents. Gu Shiyan picked up his phone. How Gu Shiyan does not love Lin Wanwan. Jing Hao is indeed not in the hot search list. On the other side, after he separated from Gu Shiyan, I immediately rushed to Thilam Group to find Zhang Huayan. The weather outside is very hot. As soon as I entered, I plopped down onto the chair, picking up a document from the desk to fan myself. Zhang Huayan took a look at me. Turned the air conditioning down a few degrees. "You're not dating Gu Shiyan. Why did you come?" I looked up and glanced at Zhang Huayan. "I really want to go on a date with him. I don't have to meet come find you." Zhang Huayan looked at me. "Does he have a crush on you? He couldn't possibly like me. I have been revolving around him for so many years. Who he likes, how could I not know?" I put the document back on the table. He pulled such a stunt. They just want to create the illusion they two families have a good relationship, so that you all would have no guard up against him. Take the opportunity to bring down the Lam family. I'm coming to find you. Just here to remind you to watch out for him. Gu Shiyan threatened me, torturing me by not getting a divorce. That means he definitely has to follow his main storyline. Bring down the Lam family. Let me lose everything once again. I have to be a bit nervous. Did the compana find any problems? Nothing at all. No results found. I'm a bit surprised. Since it can't be found out, it still couldn't stop the male lead scheme. Then I have no choice but to make more money. Left the office. I drove straight back to the Lam family's house. Seeing me return, my mother immediately told Aunt Liu to prepare dinner. Ask Shiyan to come over for dinner tonight. I simply don't want Gu Shiyan to come eat at our home. Just because he wants to bring down the Lam family. He doesn't deserve to eat the Lin family's rice. But I don't want to go home and cook for him even more. I sent a message to Gu Shiyan. My mom wants you to come over for dinner tonight. Gu Shiyan replied instantly, "No time." I felt completely relieved after seeing his reply. No time. Of course, I have to explain the trending topic to Su Qian. I don't have to cook for him anymore. Gu Shiyan finished work. Taiwan checked the time, picked up the phone and glanced at it again. Saying he was busy, this woman never replied to his messages again. It seems they really don't want him to go. He put away his phone and stood up. It was already 5:30 when we arrived at the Lam family's home. In the past, whenever Hekami to the Lam family's house, it was all my parents subtling and pressuring him. Let him experience the feeling of being threatened over and over again. Later, he no longer had to endure the Lin family's threats. He never came again. As soon as I entered the house, Gu Shiyan saw Min Zhang Huayan sitting on the sofa, chatting. I don't know what to say to him. The smile on her face was completely different from the fake one she gave him. Zhang Huayan is spilling pomegranate. Your eyes are practically glued to me. Shiyan is here. Hearing my mom say hello, Zhang Huayan and I just looked up at him. I'm currently discussing the filming of a short drama with Zhang Huayan. Seeing Gu Shiyan pause for a moment. This dog of a man said was busy, didn't he? Zhang Huaying glanced at Gu Shiyan. Just peeled a whole plate off pomegranate seeds for me. I casually grabbed a few pieces and stuffed them into my mouth. Zhang Huayan glared at me. Take it yourself. I was stunned for a moment. Took it over. I thought he peeled it because he wanted to eat it himself. I didn't expect it was peeled for me. Which woman doesn't like this kind of man? Look at that cold face again. As if I owed Gu Xian hundreds of millions. I'm a bit disgusted myself. You said you didn't have time. Gu Xian glanced at the pomegranate in my hand. Isn't this meant to be a surprise for you? He emphasized the word surprise with great weight. After saying that, she reached out and wrapped her arm around my waist without a care in the world. Squeezed into the embrace. Deep and shallow breaths sprayed by my ear. I knew I shouldn't have come. Damn, I ruined your Chanchetto hookup with the guy. I won't be coming. I couldn't help but glare at him. Don't talk nonsense. If it weren't for the fact that my family is all here, I absolutely have to pounce on him like a starved wolf and thoroughly disgust him. My mom watched as Gu Shiyan arrived, only seeing her daughter happily calling everyone to eat. Before, when I was at the dinner table, they kept picking up food for Gu Shiyan non-stop. All the delicious food was picked out and given to him. Right now, I'm just eating by myself with great relish. Gu Shiyan couldn't help but glance at me. Seeing this, my mom couldn't help but remind Lin Wanwan, don't just focus on eating by yourself. Take care of Shiyan. He's already in his decades. It's not like we're children anymore. Still need Somi and Ado take care of you. I don't want them talk no. I want a divorce. Threatened that I can't leave. Anxious and worked up. That's what you say. I still casually added some food to Gu Shiyan's plate. You guys eat too. Gu Shiyan added me and then added my parents. Zhang Huayan is being given extra screen time again. The main focus is on being fair and impartial to everyone. I love everyone. Dad sees that you earn 1,000 a month. Still can't find a partner. He arranged a domineering CEO told my husband right off the bat. President 188 never goes home. And he even tossed me a black card with no spending limit, telling me to spend as I please. After the meal, I was threatened by Gu Xian into going back with him again. Haven't slept well for 2 days. I took a shower and planned to get a good night's sleep. Gu Xian sent me a message. I won't write a long emotional post today. It's trending on hot search, visible to everyone. I was so angry that I gritted my teeth and pretended to be clueless. What trending photo? Gu Xian sent the link over to me. I pretended to be surprised that you like me. Gu Xian replied instantly. 2 minutes later, still haven't seen the social media post. I'll let you go to the police station. I am perfectly clear about whether I like you or not. I saved the photo while cursing. Share to social media. And paired with disgusting captions to nauseate him, forced by someone to post it. You guys say, he totally head over heels in love? I soon received response after another. Below. I don't believe he forced you to post it. Unless he also shows an off on his social media. He just doesn't show off. I refuse to believe he loves you. Lu Zeu directly at Ed Gu Xian, Linlin, and Wanwan in the brothers group chat. You said you forced him to post about your relationship on social media. Really? It's hard to imagine. The other brothers all chimed in with +1. Gu Xian had just finished showering and came out. Seeing the message made me laugh in anger. Threw the phone directly to the side. Everyone is blind. Love doesn't even exist. Where did this public display of affection come from? Early the next morning, after finishing my meal, I planned to go to the talent agency, but was stopped by Gu Xian. Come with me to the company. I have some doubts. What am I going to the company for? Satisfy my need for and demand availability. I was speechless. I can guarantee I'll be on Kalevayan if I don't go to the office. Gu Xian seemed to see right through my little secret. Give me a warning. Look. You have 2.5 minutes. This man is exactly how to torment me. I had no choice but to take my notebook and follow him to the company. Arrived at the company, I took out my phone. I planned to leave the matter of finding male and female leads to Zhang Huayan. At this moment, Maya sent me a message. Sister, I heard you're going to film a movie. Can I act? I was taken aback for a moment. What I want to shoot isn't that traditional kind of TV drama or movie. The starting point is very low. The requirements are also very low. After sending it, I felt cold gaze from Shiyan. I immediately switched my phone to vibrate mode. Mui replied to me, I know who I want to be. I looked puzzled. You know it and still want to act. Mui smiled. Sis likes it. It must be good stuff. I can't miss it. I signed him just to save him. Because he is too similar to the real version of himself. The most important thing right now is that he's happy. He wanted to act, so I agreed to it. Mui, playing the Mali lead, has a fan base. It's definitely going to be a huge hit. If no one chooses the female lead, just do it myself. And filming allows me to kiss all handsome men in the entertainment industry. I've seen all handsome men's abs. I was holding my phone, happily thinking to myself, unintentionally meeting Shiyan's icy gaze. Shiyan gave me disgusted look. Go pour me a glass of water. The water dispenser is right beside you. I got up and poured him a glass of cold water. Shiyan glanced at the waneho was about to get heated. I went to get him another cup of boiled water. Shiyan said expressionlessly, I don't use disposable cups. I gritted my teeth. Then what about your cup? Never mind. I suddenly don't feel like drinking water anymore. Go downstairs and buy me a cup of coffee. I've learned to be smarter this time. Smiling, asked him what flavor he wanted to drink. Shiyan stopped the work at hand. Looking up at me, what flavors do you have? I'm speechless. I'll go down and buy it for you. I went downstairs and bought one of every flavor. Have the coffee shop staff bring it up. Shiyan just got up and is getting ready to go to the meeting. Just saw me coming up, followed by a shop assistant carrying over 20 cups of coffee. All the flavors are here. I gave him such a fake smile. Shiyan gave me a cold glare. Just grabbed a cup. Clean up the office. The office is clean and tidy. What is there to pack? I took a cup, sitting on the sofa and starting to write the script. Shiyan came back after the meeting. Just saw me sitting on the sofa, fingers flying across the laptop keyboard. That speed is something even a person houses a computer year-round can't handle. Typing isn't even that fast. There's no way to goot and flirt with men. Feeling down and venting, he returned to his desk and sat down, leaning back in the chair and looking at me. Pour me a glass of water. I was in the zone when he interrupted me. Gritting his teeth, he closed the notebook and walked over. The smile doesn't reach the eyes. Do you want to drink it water or cold water? After a pause, I couldn't help but add, still drooling. Shiyan's face instantly darkened a shade. Len curled the corner off his mouth coldly. I tapped my finger on the desk. He walked around the desk and moved closer to him. With a look of fanger, staring at him. I thought he would back down like last time. But Shiyan just glared coldly at me. As if he saw through that I wouldn't go along with him. Really, there was actually no fear. I immediately sat right down on his lap. Shiyan's body immediately tensed up at a speed visible to the naked eye. His expression changed in the blink of an eye. It was quite a spectacle. The hand tightly gripped the armrest, clearly trying to suppress something. So disgusting. My mood suddenly improved. Shiyan is clinging to me. The face is dark with a reddish glow. Get lost. Shiyan reached out to push me away. I put my arm around his neck. Want to take this Chanchetto thoroughly disgust him. From now on, he'll be traumatized every time he sees me. Suddenly, the office heater was pushed open. The assistant quickly used the documents to cover her face. I didn't see anything. You all continue. I'll come back later. Gu Shiyan yanked my hand away. He straightened his own clothes. Before the assistant closes the door, call him back for me. Get back here, okay? President Gua's assistant hung her head. Afraid of seeing something I shouldn't see. I stood to the side. She played with her own hair. Gu Shiyan held a signing pen. A cold gaze swept over. What are you still standing here for? I glanced at him. Deliberately twist his meaning. Then I'll go back and wait for you in bed. Gu Shiyan's face, which had finalized down with great difficulty, instantly successful again, black with a blue-green tint. The assistant whiskered to death. He must have heard something he shouldn't have. Will I lose my head over this? Gu Shiyan gritted his teeth. Don't even dream about it. There's a kitchen in the back for cooking. I had no choice but to turn around and go inside. That's when I realized there was more than just a kitchen inside. Also, the living room restroom for video conferences. It's quite obvious. Gu Shiyan used to stay here quite often in the past. I sized it up for a moment. I just opened the refrigerator. There isn't much food in the fridge. I'm just about to go and buy groceries. Just saw Su Qian arriving. I quickly backed away. Su Qian glanced at Gu Shiyan. Placed the bag in hand on the desk. My mom made this with her own hands after being discharged from the hospital. Insisted that I bring it over for you to try. Gu Shiyan glanced at. How is your recovery going? The recovery is going well. Spirits are very high. Can eat and sleep well too. Su Qian looked at him. Love is concealed in the eyes. When are you free? My mom keeps saying she wants to invite you over for a meal at our place. Thank you for the help you provided during my previous hospitalization. I will go see her when I have time. Su Qian pinched his fingers. I don't know what to say anymore. Since the last time I got drunk and confessed my feelings, she kept thinking about Gu Shiyan's attitude. Yet he acted as if nothing had happened. If you say Gu Shiyan does have her in his heart, so what do all these years of special treatment towards her count for? But if we say Gu Shiyan has feelings for her, why hasn't he given any response at all? Still went shopping with Lin Wanwan. Such intimate photos have been leaked. She is finding Gu Shiyan harder and harder to understand. Are you still busy? If not, stay for lunch. Su Qian was a bit slow to react. She raised her hand and tucked her hair behind her ear. I'm resting these few days. No big deal. The next second, just heard Gu Shiyan say coldly, did you eavesdrop clearly enough? Understood, then go buy groceries. I am all ears and listening with great interest. Hearing this, I had nakasi but to come out. Su Qian instinctively looked inside. Seeing me come out from inside, her palm instantly clenched tightly. She thought Gu Shiyan was going to take her out to eat. I didn't expect she wanted me to cook to entertain her. I'm going to buy groceries now. You guys chat slowly. Su Qian pursed his lips, looking at Gu Shiyan. You do your thing, I'm going to the restroom. A few minutes later, Su Qian sent a message to Gu Shiyan. Just now Nana looked for me. Ask me out. I'll be going first then. There will be another chanchetto have a meal together. I went to the supermarket and went on a crazy shopping spree. Gu Shiyan asked me to cook for Su Qian. If this were the original owner, it's bound to cause a huge uproar. I'm different. I'm all about making things happen for others. I can't wait for them to get all hot and heavy and start burning up soon. I only go out to buy groceries. I also bought a whole bunch of snacks for Su Qian to eat. As a result, I carried 12 large bags back to the office. Yet only Gu Shiyan was there. Qian glanced at Gu Shiyan. Qian, you're calling him so affectionately. You forgot how you treated her in the past. I just regret treating her that way before. I only want to be good to her now. I put a bag of snacks on the desk. This is the snack he bought for her. When she comes back later, give it to her to eat. Gu Shiyan glanced at snacks on the table. Look at me. She's gone. Let's go. My voice suddenly rose sharply. How did you let her leave? Gu Shiyan raised his eyes and gave me a cold, disdainful look. Su Qian has left. I not only had an unhappy expression on my face, still getting worked up over him. Did you say something that made her angry? It's still trending from yesterday. You didn't explain it clearly to her. She misunderstood. Or is it that someone confessed to you and you haven't given a reply yet? I'm mentally exhausted. The male and female Ledser making such slow progress. When will I ever be able to break free from this? I also want to personally them how to date. Gu Shiyan slammed Thiepen down on the table. My business is none if you're concerned. Go cook. I watched his completely calm demeanor. So I had no choice but to grit my teeth and carry the groceries into the kitchen. The female lead confessor feelings in advance. This man is supposed to. It's time to put divorce on the agenda. But he clearly had no such intention. And suddenly brought me onto the hot search list. Making everyone mistakenly think that we have a good relationship. It seems the desire to secretly undermine Lin Jia is quite strong. He has the protagonist's halo. Zhang Huaiyan's side found no trace of evidence. Then can I start from him? I cooked 3 dishes. With an excellent attitude, please invite Gu Shiyan to a meal. I took a glance at the documents on his desk. In the afternoon, while Gu Shiyan was away at a meeting, I started secretly looking through the documents on his desk. I've gone through it once. These are all written reporting and approval documents. No useful information was found in his office. I'll just spend Gu Shiyan's money then. Please treat the people from the president's office to milk tea. Work should strike a balance between labor and leisure. All of you are Hispan's right-hand men. The company's development owes much to your contributions. These are all tokens of my appreciation. Don't stand on ceremony. President's wife. I never gave them a second glance back at the company. Usually, she makes a scene at the company. Their gossipy glances were enough to earn them a scolding from her. Now when we bring them food, they still look so casual and indifferent. No one dared to speak recklessly. Politely accepting. I take the initiative to fin topics to bridge the distance. How many years have you been working here? It's been 2 years, and you've grown so handsome. Do you have a boyfriend? No. Another day I'll introduce you to one. He has it. Madam. I do not have. Madam. I'm single too. The person recommended by the president's wife. How could their qualifications be lacking? Everyone is rushing to be the first. Gu Shiyan came back from outside. I saw that I was visiting on the man's desk. Chatting with the very own in full swing. Can't go out topic up guys anymore. Right at his company, he hooked up with someone. He asked coldly to the little assistant who had followed him. The president's office is always this idle every day. The assistant tapped Theodore frame with the file in hand. The work that needed to be done is all finished. I turned around and saw Gu Shiyan staring at me with a cold, stern face. Get out here. I smiled and waved to everyone. Followed Gu Shiyan back to the office. Gu Shiyan sat in the office chair, looking at me coldly. Would you like me to arrange a position for you in the CEO's office? I took one look at him. I'm listening to you. I am just a brick by your side. You say where to move, and I'll move there. Gu Shiyan laughed in exasperation. I want to eat dumplings at noon. Handmade. I was speechless. Eating dumplings is one thing, but must be completely handmade. Do you want to eat me? I'm all natural. In the afternoon, I was sitting on the sofa, looking at Gu Shiyan handling the work, thinking about how to make him not want to see me. Obviously, you hate me. To torment me. You bring me to the company every day. He's practically inflicting 1,000 losses on the enemy at the cost of 800 of his own. How about I drop some bombshells too? Gu Shiyan looked up inadvertently. He saw me staring at him, frowning in a moment. One moment gritting teeth, the next moment laughing. He let out a cold, mocking laugh, thinking of playing tricks again. Is that little brain of yours even enough to function? Do you want me to lend you some? At this moment, Gu Shiyan's phone rang. He picked up his phone and answered the call from his mother. Your sister and her family came back today. Bring Lin Wanwan back for dinner tonight. End the call. He glanced at me and said, come back to the old house for dinner tonight. I heard we're going back to the old house for dinner. In an instant, their eyes lit up. This is simply heaven helping me. 5:30 p.m., the car stopped at Gu family's old residence. As soon as I got out of the car, I immediately climbed up and grabbed Gu Shiyan's hand. The fingers are linked to the heart, skin-to-skin contact. This kind of disgusting nemesis, truly deadly. Sure enough, as soon as I grabbed Gu Shiyan's finger, it went stiff. I can feel him. She tried to pull her hand back, but he held it even tighter. Fingers still caressed the back of his hand. I don't want to either. But your mom is watching. Wanwan Gu Shiyan. Gu's mother came out with a smile, looking at our hands held together. The smile at the corner of mouth grew even deeper. I then wrapped my arms around Gu Shiyan's waist. We came back in a hurry today. I didn't have to buy gifts for you. Her delicate and soft body, separated by thin fabric. I can clearly feel the warmth of the skin. Gu Shiyan's body was tense. The fragrance of the shampoo drifted into his breath. He tightened his throat. I feel disgusted by Gu Shiyan, and deliberately kept rubbing against him. Gu's mother saw how close they were. I couldn't stop grinning from ear to ear. Come inside quickly. We're just waiting for you guys. Enter the room and take a seat. Naturally, I sat next to Gu Shiyan, looking at the various delicacies on the table. The more I look, the better I feel. Parents immediately transferred the good things in front of me. Lin Wanwan, try this hairy crab. Your sister brought it back. Authentic Yang Chenglik hairy crab. I won't stand on ceremony. Take one and place it in front of Gu Shiyan. Honey, can you peel this for me? I got a manicure. It's not convenient for me to say this. Everyone at Theatable looked over. Gu Shiyan looked at me with a cold glare. A faint smile played at the corners of his mouth. I'll peel it for you. Then don't even eat your meal, waiting for me to feed you. Gu's mother's face instantly turned cold. Gu Shiyan, how can you say that? Lin Wanwan is your wife. What's the big deal about peeling a crab for her? I sensibly need to get hairy crabs back. If you don't want to peel it, then forget it. It's okay if you don't eat. Wanwan, you put that there. Gu's mother gave Gu Shiyan a warning. Look. Gu Shiyan gave me a deep, meaningful look. I had no choice but to start shelling the crab for me. I praised it while eating. After finishing the meal, Gu's mother happily pulled the two of us along. Come chat on the sofa. Wanwan experiment. You've been married for 2 years now. Now, the relationship is getting better and better. Isn't it time to have a child? I sneered inwardly. Don't even let me touch you. How are we supposed to have a baby? I didn't hold back either. Taking the opportunity to grab Gu Shiyan's hand. Playing with his fingers. One mom is not enough. We have already discussed it and agreed upon it. Decided to have a whole soccer team. I'm going to take this opportunity to thoroughly discuss him once more. Gu Shiyan suddenly wrapped his arm around my waist. With a smile at the corner of her mouth, she squeezed into his embrace. It's getting late. We are going back right now. Strive to let you hold a grandchild sooner. After saying that, he put his arm around me and got up to leave immediately. I realized this man had reached his breaking point. Feeling great. Continue adding fuel to the fire after leaving the hall. Touch his abs. Eagerly wanting to get intimate with him. Are you serious? Gu Shiyan lowered his gaze and looked at me with affection. His dark eyes were a turbulent storm of emotions, as if a storm is about to arrive. I was prepared for him to push me away. As a result, the man just curled the corner of his mouth. "Since you're so eager to lower the curtain." Shiyan held me close. He then pressed me against the wall nearby. He sealed my lips with a kiss, biting and gnawing, violent like a storm. I couldn't believe my eyes and widened them in disbelief. My head is buzzing and ringing. Shouldn't it be disgusting? Shouldn't it be the point where one can no longer endure? What is this situation? I instinctively tried to push him away. Yet it provoked Amon's cold sneer. "Not trying to give birth to a whole soccer team." Gu Xian gripped my wrist and pressed it against his abs. The words were filled with mockery that saw right through me. "Not fond of touching." My lips are albitten and broken. The smell of blood brought me back to my senses. I forced myself to calm down. He is disgusted by me. He inflicts 1,000 casualties on Thenami at the cost of 800 of his own. I'm not afraid of a damn thing. Don't lose in terms of momentum. I immediately turned Theatables and took the initiative. Facing his kiss. With a touch of rudeness, he yanked his shirt out off his pants in one swift motion. He reached out to snatch his belt. I've waited for this moment for far too long.